Guru. I'm here this wonderful evening along with our panelists, Mr. Josh Nomo, Fred, Vedran Sumi. They are all set up here this evening. Mr. Nomo, how are you doing?
Yeah. Oh, I'm doing fine. How about you?
Okay. Anyways,
What? So, no, beautiful day today.
okay.
Please mute yourself. I'm hearing the echo. I'm hearing.
You getting any feedback?
Okay. Yes, today is a beautiful day, and I I sent text messages to Abek to Defo and to Archie asking about a link, and I just got a link, and I said, well, maybe or they are back today for panelists were on a mat for this Yaka Koruba case. Whipping. I know Veteran Smith just got up from the mat. Thank you. And good evening to Zredru, good evening to the listeners, and Veteran Smith, welcome. Thank you.
Vedran, how you doing?
Also, Mr. Nemo in the hot seat today. Mr. Nemo, I didn't tell you about it, but you two veteran journalists will be bringing us the April 14, reflecting on April 14. So you and somebody recommended you, Mr. Nemo, that you would do well with the topic. Reflecting on April 14, the arrest riot. On the arrest riot. So you would be a special guest today. You will not be a panelist. We'll be asking you questions.
No, you should have told me.
Yeah, I was sort of call you, but I felt that you would be prepared. The person told me you would be prepared.
Oh,
he said that's somebody from who know you well. Actually just coming.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Ra, how you doing?
I'm doing excellent. How yourself?
They're dealing with the rain, we're dealing with the sun.
Alrighty.
We just made some rules. Anybody who come late, that goes through. So veteran Smith gotta bring go soup, and the co-host go soup. Oh, co-host ran away. Yeah, maybe he's going to check in his wallet. But veterans, what want to know about April 14th?
Right here. Okay.
Oh,
Good evening, folks.
I thought he went.
You're saying something, Mr.
I thought he
Nubu?
went-
Mr. Nubu, you're saying something? Okay. It's not.
Oh, no.
Okay, great. There's a lot happening today, man. A whole lot. And I kept getting I don't know why, but the veterans may take special interest in this day today. He was just sending me information. I'm like, man, this guy ready. I don't know what on this day that
information about April 14th.
Oh my God!
April 14th.
They man sent me so much information on my phone, so I probably got I don't know how many stories I got left on my phone. You know, so much information. At one point, I thought you were confusing yourself because I don't know. I'm like, what's going on? I don't see the man so animated about a day like this.
I saw some stuff. I think 2 articles. One from Gonglo, one from Commerce presentation. I thought that what we're going to discuss today.
Well, we're going to discuss a lot of stuff today. Everything that happened today.
The expulsion of the effort to expel Yeka Koroba because they have not expelled him yet.
Yeah. But I want us to begin with why Soup took to the street today. Did you see that?
I was watching it and then reached a place I couldn't hear the audio. So I stopped watching it.
I mean, some of the pictures I saw.
I didn't know why.
The guys were brutalized, man. They were brutalized.
The students?
Oh yeah, I saw some videos. I couldn't take them down, man. I couldn't store them rather. Oh yeah, they beat them bloody. I say they beat them bloody. They beat them bloody today.
They were on the university campus and they were being interviewed. And I think the journalist said, they say people are demonstrating because they gave you money. And they started walking from the campus towards the police. And that's all I saw. And then after some time, I couldn't hear any audio. So I turned it off.
And Mr. Wright, what makes it so unique? The President Joseph Nima Barker and high power dedication, they are in Ethiopia right now. So who running the country right now is the vice president with his minister of presidential affairs. So with the president and high team of people out of the country, then Sue went and demonstrated. So and the day itself brought memories because today is April the 14th, the rights riot, and this was today the youth and the progressive people with Barker Matthew took the streets. So whether Sue were trying to duplicate the day itself, I don't know, but I have the number for the president of Ningsu. If you want me to bring him on, I can bring him on. The Ningsu youth president.
Yeah, bring him on. But we want somebody to talk about this day today. That would be great. I mean, this is just one video. A lot of videos out today. You guys can make blood. They were made bloody to do. I can tell you that. Well, that was the police. That was one of this is a heavy-handed response, in my view. Now, some people may disagree with this, but I think this is purely heavy-handed. From the beginning of all of this, the police were very, very professional. The police walked with them. The police guarded them through the streets of Monrovia.
Mr. Bwaka, Mr. Bwaka, reckless Bwaka, reckless mission, reckless mission. Yo, Mr. Bwaka, I'm record again in the country. Say yo, we need justice. Say yo, we need justice. Say yo, stop rapping our guys. Say yo, all of their police, man of police, Kukusha police, yo, where the people turn it over, say yo, where the people turn it over, say yo, down, reckless Bwaka, down, reckless mission, down, reckless Bwaka, down, reckless mission, down, yo. We are prepared for the tear gas. Say yo. We'll never be intimidated. Say yo. M114 say yo. Mr. Bwaka, reckless mission, yo.
Top FM 105.3, we on the air. Leader, shout, Sheku Koroma. Ready. Archie right. X3 producer correct. All tonight we beg to this day. I beg to differ my people. If it's not correct, we go talk.
All right, I don't know what's going on, but I got kicked off the stage and I'm back. We'll go through the videos, gentlemen, and then we'll come back because I want us to play this. This is what happened in Monrovia today, and we got to stay up to date on the news. So I'm playing these videos so that we can see them. I see my own man Bob Bila in studio today. Wow. Mr. Bila, how you doing?
What's up?
Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Okay, as we get set up and I'm rolling the videos that were released today from the SUP protest, the Student Unification Party of the University of Liberia, and the police, effort to control them. I thought the police were heavy-handed. Could be wrong, but that is my view. And so I'm playing the video so that we can look. What's going on? All right, hold on.
You guys tell me like don't
What has happened?
where you
Yes, because he can't stand the tension. What has happened?
No, you don't just tell me like join the people.
What has happened?
Do what?
She has lied down to the floor, fighting for survival.
We will go for our rights. This is just the beginning.
Okay. What is it? One more time, guys, and then we'll come back. This is why the girl, I think she got cut. She was beaten.
It's not easy here. This is Liberia TV with me and Ayes and Eva. So, the Liberia National Police has not. One person down. One of the protesters, and I see another person is coming.
Keep on driving justice. We keep on driving justice. We keep on driving justice. Justice.
Okay. The video has a very poor quality, so we're going to take it off. Good evening to you all. What do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Still got one person down there. What was that? Okay, nobody there. All right. So I want to welcome each and every one of you. I see we got a few new participant with us here today. I see my own man Bob Bila here, and I see we have Mr. Cassell. She's an ex-journalist of New Liberian. Okay, and Mr. Bob Bila, the very prolific historian. Welcome you guys on this all-important day today, April 14, 2026. For some reason, one of our panelists here, Mr. Fred the Veteran Smith, found this day to be a very, very interesting day. I don't know why, but I'm going to allow him to explain this because I was taken aback when he started sending information to me and, saying that we got to talk about this, we got to talk about that. I have Mr. Gerald that is coming. Okay, what's the feedback coming from? Cool. That's great.
Come from Veteran Smith.
Yeah. All right, he's muted. And so I was like, okay, sounds good. I mean, I heard about April 14. I don't know what happened on that day. But April 14 for me, just like every other day in Liberia, people get ill-treated, government keeps stealing, people get brutalized, people's rights get trampled upon, bad governance still happens, and loans get taken in the name of the people, and people get, rich off of the loans, and people remain in poverty, and our resources get taken out of the country, all of our other stuff. But Mr. Fred, the Veteran Smith, found it to be very, very interesting to him. So I'm going to begin the show. But before I do that, I want us to go around and do what we do here. Today, we don't have any guests with us. I don't know if Mr. Bila here to be our guest or Mr. Kase here to be our guest. I will allow Mr. Fred, the Veteran Smith, to explain that. But we're going to go around the table to do our tradition first. And then when we come back, I'm going to bring Mr. Fred, the Veteran Smith, on the floor. And then he's going to tell us whether Mr. Bila or Mr. Cassell is going to be our guest tonight to be put into the hot seat. But to begin with, I'm Archie Ram. I'm going to be your co-host. Welcome, Mr. Mr. Bila, you know this. Welcome, Mr. Cassell, to I Beg to Differ on 105.3 Top FM. We are streaming live on Facebook. We're streaming live on YouTube. Live on the radio in the city of Zudowiski. Mr. Nuba don't know that. That's called Zwedru. And we're also live on our website, www.topfm.com. Thank you once again. I want to begin this conversation with going to Mr. George H. Nubo to introduce himself, even though you got a little bit of mouthful there, but that's okay. Mr. George Nubo, please introduce yourself, sir.
Okay. Maybe Mr. Cassette does not know me, but the panelists know me. And I'm happy to be here. Good evening to every one of you. Good evening to our listeners in Grand Gita, specifically my town, Zaytown. Good evening to every one of you. I feel that.
But we're introducing ourselves.
No. I gotta say something because the introduction you made. I feel that the issues.
All right, let's keep it.
The issue today. That's why we should deal with beating on the students,
We'll deal with it. Yes or no?
Okay.
We'll deal with it. Don't worry about it. We will.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Let's go to Mr. Cassell. Mr. Cassell.
Yes, sir. My name is Joe Cassell. I wrote under the name J.M. Cassell when I was a practicing journalist in Liberia back in the day. I worked for the Liberian Age newspaper. I don't know if any of that newspaper, the True Party newspaper. I later worked for, and I later worked for, there was a newspaper called the Redeemer newspaper, the first newspaper that came out after the coup d'etat. And then those of us that worked for that paper were incorporated into the New Liberian newspaper, which was the last newspaper I worked with. Then I went to England for school, and I worked with a Caribbean newspaper called West Indian World. So when it comes to the world of newspapers, that's pretty much my wheelhouse. And, you know, thanks for having me, Fred. Fred and I will go way, 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 way back. And I really appreciate you guys. Appreciate the panelists as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cassell. And we are very, very excited to have you on our platform today. Let's go to Mr. A.D. Wright.
All right, thank you, Mr. Wright, Archie, for the new faces in my choice of words for the platform this evening, who are seeing me for the first time. My name is Amos T. Wright, a panelist of this platform, and I come from the background of the classroom. I also come from the background of alternative dispute resolution and nonviolent communication practitioner. But the good thing is I'm excited to be with this platform, and I'm glad that the new faces that I'm seeing are faces that I'm going to learn from, beginning with the speaker who just spoke before me, Mr. Cassell. He talked about the Liberian Age, the Redeemer. I was very small, I remember, but I was one of the small guys who was very keen with current events. I was in Ikepa, and the papers were coming there, even though very scantily, but they were coming there. We were seeing them. And that was just a cool reminder for me just now. Thank you, Archie.
Thank you, Mr. A.D. Wright. Now we'll move on to Mr. Bob Bila. Mr. Bila?
Thank you. My name is Moses Gaon Boy Bida, and I'm a resident of Zurich, but present I'm in Monrovia. I run a radio program over the time called the History Hour, but I'm a ceramics by profession, and I'm the CEO of Jida Group of Company. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, you didn't talk about the historian part. What's wrong? Why you left that out?
No, I said it. I said I have been running a program on most of the radio stations in Dreadru called the History Hour. The rest of Dreadru know me when it comes to history. And then I'm very pleased tonight to be with you guys for the very first time. And I hope that we have a very fun day discussing this issue as it relates to the month of April in the history of Liberia, most especially April 14, April 12, and that of April 6. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bila. Now we'll go to Veteran Smith. Veteran Smith, please introduce yourself, sir.
Thank you very much. My name is Fred Smith, but they sometimes call me Fred the Veteran Smith. Work with Josepha Cassell, also at the New Liberian newspaper. And in fact, that's where I started my career, from a visit to Grand Bassa County, where the ants invaded Grand Bassa, and I wrote a letter to the editor, and Rufus Dapo, the late Rufus Dapo, found it very interesting to have me being trained. So He's my senior person when it comes to the field of journalism, newspaper. And so then we went to E.J. Raw building after we left the Ministry of Information. And then I left there and went to Daily Observer. And my friend met with him when we went in. I went to London. I met him there also. So we've been very close. And also today we brought in, there will be a lot of people coming in, but the two that also came, Mr. Bila. I don't know whether our historian, whether he coming. And then Gerald Barclay, the filmmaker, he is leaving for Liberia to show the film, but he might be coming also to show, because in the film, he shared light about April 14, the Rice Riot. So if he can come, the topic itself is very interesting. Rice, rice is our staple food. Very interesting what happened April 14, so many years ago. So each of these individuals will have something to say about how it impacted Liberia, how it impacted our lives. And for people who don't know much about it, it's a learning experiences for them.
Okay. Before I come back to you, Mr. Veteran Smith, let me just tell Mr. Bila and Mr. Cassell how we run the show here. So we're gonna, for today, the first half of the show is going to be on the significance of today's day. I think you talked about it, Mr. Cassell talked about it, and Mr. Smith talked about it. So after we run that, and then we'll go to the line, we'll take calls, and then when we come back in the last half of the show, we're going to deal with the student protest today and the brutality that accompanied that. So that's the lineup for the show today. Having said that, okay, Veteran Smith, you're going to be home today. You're supposed to be home today. You can't. You put so much significance in the day today. You can't. You should not be at work on this day today. You put too much effort in the day today. You should have been home. Be part of the show. Because like you'll be at work, you'll be distracted. And I hate to say that because you put too much into the day today.
I mean, the people the people who are here, they alone will make the day successful. In fact, one of our panelists, Mr. Numo, he on the hot seat today, so he's not ready a panelist today.
No hot seat.
No, I mean hot seat. He would give up. He would give us information also.
Well, let's start with you. Let's begin with you as usual with our two guests, I believe, Mr. Cassell and Mr. Bila. Start a conversation for us, Mr. Smith.
Yes, I mean, for me, it had an impact in my life in a sense that where I live, Bassa community, there's the state capital, you have the executive mansion, you have Ministry of Information, and my house right behind the Chamber of Commerce. Lands and Mines right there. So I grew up with a lot of history surrounding me. And so that day came, we saw Camp Johnson Road coming from the executive mansion, the police station, the old police station near me. So I was really protected, everything, government, police, everything around me. And when people demonstrating or marching, they come from the executive mansion, go to Camp Johnson Road. So that day, we saw everything, what unfolded that day, that therefore they have changed rice as our staple food. So I brought these girls to tell me how it all unfolded. Joseph Cassell, a veteran journalist, to tell me today we were changing notes, and he was trying to help me too in understand where it all started from. So I would let him start the conversation, how it all started. We knew that it was a riot, but how the whole thing unfolded. So Josepha, how it started. Welcome to I Bet to Different, Top FM 105.3 FM. This is your first time on the show, but some historical perspective, how it all unfolded. What happened? We knew it was rice, but what happened? What happened before April 14th? Something had to happen. Give us some background.
Fred, call me Joe. Only my father called me Josephus, so call me Joe.
Okay, Joe, yes.
Okay. Look, the riot really had nothing to do with rice. It had very little to do with rice, because if you look at the events that led up to the riot, and if you look at what Florence Chinaway said in her annual report, because that's what started it. The Minister of Agriculture, Florence Chinaway at the time, Toba's Minister of Agriculture, in her annual report, like most annual reports, even in the United States, you give recommendations, right? And if you're in a space called Minister of Agriculture, you will give recommendations relative to how you believe that that sector can expand and develop. So she suggested in her annual report that there should be some sort of marginal increase in the price of rice for that to serve as an incentive to the Liberian farmers in the interior. That will make them want to grow more rice why? Because they will make more money. So Bacchus Matthews took that portion and he used it as a political tool. He went out there and said, "Oh, the people that own all the restaurants are other people." Yeah, well,
My man, Mr. Kasek, are we able to see your face or not?
You can see. I had my face on before, but okay, hold on a second.
Okay, we appreciate if you can turn your video on again, please.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Can you see me?
Yeah, there you go. Good.
Okay. So where was I again? As I was saying, so Bacchus Matthews and they call themselves at the time the PPP, they took that little section out of the annual report and end with it. They say, okay, this is a political opportunity for us. And that political opportunity was disinformation and misinformation. Okay? But prior to that, why had very little. Okay, somebody need to go on mute.
Yeah, I'm about to be there about it, sir. Just give me 1 second here.
Okay. So why I said it had very little to do with rice was that tension was building in society way before that annual report came. The True Party had been in power for over 100 plus years, and people, to be honest, were just getting tired of them. So there was nothing that Toba and the True Party could have done as a resistance to the force of change that was coming to Liberia. It's nothing. So that rice issue, as we all know, those of us that were in my situation, I was those are all that were adults during that time. We saw it coming. We saw that storm, that change coming. Because when the rice riot started, Talbert brought in Guinean soldiers because the Liberian soldiers were looting stores. All in my area, I was living right by City Hall. All the Lebanese stores that were there, we saw soldiers breaking in with the people, with the regular people breaking into the stores, taking Xbox, whatever they could steal. And that brought out a tension between the Liberian soldiers and the Liberian police. Because one group wants to enforce the law, you're not supposed to be breaking into the stores. Then there's the other armed group actually breaking into the stores. Okay? And so Talbot, he lost not only respect, but he didn't trust. He lost trust in the Liberian army. That's when he went to Guinea. He called on Sékou Touré, and Sékou Touré sent in some Guinean forces to help guard the mansion. And when the Liberian soldiers saw that, they were kind of pissed off. You know, if you want security in your country, you need to come to us. You know, we'll provide that security. You can't go to Guinea. But Guinea and Liberia had a pact, a security pact, which Torba tapped into. And so right there, that was the beginning, you know, needless to say, not too long later, I think a year later, April 12th came, and that was the end of the True Party government. But people were just getting fed up of the True Party. That one, you know, one party rule that had been dominating for years. And it was actually time for them to go. Not to say I agree with the riots and all that, because I just thought Bacchus Matthews and the Powell people, they just took advantage of the tension within the society at that time. And look where it brought us. We're here now. That's the Rice Riot was the beginning. April 14, 1979. We saw the collapse. That's when the collapse started. So any question, Fred?
That brought the whole thing. But then why they did not allow Bacchus Matthew to plan to reduce the rice? Why you think the Torba government was so, on one hand, why they couldn't say, okay, you say you will reduce the price of rice. Why? Let's look out to see what you would do. Why they didn't do that?
That's a good question. Because a lot of people were asking during those days was, okay, because Matthew and his group said that they could bring rice into Liberia and make it cheaper. But that was just BS talk. They had no way of doing it. They wouldn't even know where to begin. They had no clue. It is not as easy as they thought it would be. That, oh, you know, I can go to China and bring rice. No. It doesn't work that way. Because one thing that they realized and they kept from the public is that the Liberian government was subsidizing rice. You hear what I'm saying?
Yes, I hear what you say.
Every bag of rice coming to Liberia during our time were being subsidized. So instead of inspiring the people, say, look, all we need to do, we need to feed ourselves. Inspiring them, you know, to be independent, to be productive. They didn't do that. They inspired them to turn against the government. So maybe some people on the panel might say, I disagree with you, but I would like to hear the argument.
Let's go to Mr. Bila, a young person. How well you can remember this day, April 14th, and people protesting. What you learned from that day on the young people participating?
Thank you. Let me drive you through the crisis, the genesis of the crisis. And then I agree with Mr. Kasser. And then before, it would be better that we all know the genesis of the crisis. And before the April 14th, let me tell you that Liberia were producing almost 50% of our stable food rice under the administration of William R. Turnbull. The elite, members of the elite, most of them were involved in agriculture, rice production, most especially Turnbull in Belefana. Turnbull was able to initiate the NCADP, the BCADP in Bond County, and then the NCADP in Nimba County, and the LCADP in Lofa County. At that time, in the interior, most of our people was involved in subsistence farming. They were not buying these food sour. and the government was subsidizing the rice. That is that if you were to buy the rice, government buy the rice $24, you have to sell it $22 because it was a political commodities. So in 1978, Florence Cheney, the then agriculture minister, proposed. It was a proposal that the rice price from $22 for 100 pounds. It was the big rice at that time, 100-pound rice, to $26. So Michael Matthew, establishing the Progressive Alliance of Liberia in 1975, came to Liberia. He was the chairman of the Progressive Alliance of Liberia. Oscar Jaikuya was the secretary. There were a lot of them like Deacon Carlos, the Sam Jackson, and the very Marcos down today. So they decided that the price was very high, so they would protest. They were about 2,000, the activists. But when they went to protest, hooligans joined them, and then the group raised up to almost 15,000. And then they were on the looting move, right, to loot. Most of the about 160 something stores were looted, like Barico, Eldorado, Elegance, including the rice depot, were all looted. And then the justice minister at the time, Oliver Bright, and that of the police commander and Barney Denster, decided to stop the rioters, and then they used live bullets, and some people were killed during the riot. Some of them got killed because when they broke into the stores, the glass, they would try to find their way inside, and then when they heard the gunfire, so the glass on the door cut off some of them, and they died. So the police and couldn't make it. They called in the military at the time, and military they were not willing to help the police. So Todd was called secretary, and they came in with a plane, the C-130, came with the plane from Guinea to stabilize the situation. The next day, Todd decided to reduce the rice price on radio, that the rice price would be reduced to $20. And then they decided to arrest some of the members, like Marcus Down, Sam Jackson, and he offered $5,000 that anybody, Oscar Jaikuya, will find those guys, they would be awarded $5,000. But Tobo had a pressure from the international, from outside, from big hands. It happened, you can remember, in 1978, Jimmy Carter came to Liberia, and his pupils were coming to Liberia. The first thing that took place, Tobo was to be the next OAU chairman. And then because the Arab Oil embargo that started from 1973 throughout to 1976, that the Arab Oil, the OPEC, decided not to sell petroleum to the United States and all those that supported Israel during that war. So oil prices went all high. There was even in the United States, a gallon of oil gas went up to $11. So the West decided to create a
Peter Bila?
Bila is frozen. Bila, you don't have to talk about that. So let's do this.
Okay.
Let's take
you
off
go
stage.
where? Okay.
And then we're gonna kick him out of the studio. Hopefully he comes back. All right, so with them, Mr. Bill
But
come back.
he stopped to an important point where the arrest of key people of PPP. Mr. Numo, can you fill us in why they arrested these people?
Well,
No, let's do this.
I can't
I
talk
want us to
about
do this.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Nuba, hold on, please.
Okay.
You're going to go with the two guests, and they're going to go around the table, and then they're going to ask them the question.
Right.
So let's just do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Cassell, can you fill in why they arrested key members of the Progressive People Alliance?
Maybe start from the genesis of the riot.
Mr. Nuba, hold on. We go. Everybody gonna. I don't want to be. Let Mr. Fred get his questions in with the guests, and then we'll come back and then we'll start with you and go around to you. Thank you. So yeah, go ahead, Fred.
Joe Cassell, can you fill in after the protest or the riot? Key members of the Progressive People Alliance, they were being arrested. Do you think that was a mistake? If not, what's your opinion about it?
First thing we have to realize that prior to April 14, there had never been a riot in Liberia of that magnitude. And the three-party government felt that it was a threat to their existence. So they came out with charges of sedition on all those involved. You guys want to overthrow the government. So Oliver Bright, who at that time was the Minister of Justice, and Vonnie Dempster, they went looking for the so-called troublemakers. And that included, Matthews. I think Matthews, it was very easy to find him. Some of them went to places outside the city. I think Sam Jackson went somewhere. I think he went to Kipma or somewhere, and that's where they caught him. Oscar Kuya was caught, and there was a whole lot of them. Because the thing is, there was also a tension. I'm not saying that there was a tension between the so-called progressives during those days, because PAL, which morphed into PPP, they wanted things to move faster. Moja was like, let's take it slow, step by step. Let's engage these guys, and we can eventually get what we want out of them in terms of, democratic pluralism and all that. Say, well, we can engage, we can negotiate, but PAL was like, no. We need to do this thing like yesterday. So I'm saying that because they didn't touch Tipotech, they didn't touch Sawyer, because all those people there, Sawyer, Tipotech in Liberia, they were very critical of government. Very, very critical. But one thing that Moja did, they had their own, Fred, I think you remember, they had their own farming type unit. Moja had a farming unit where they had their farm, and I remember there was an event one time at the mansion where Tipotech came with some produce from their farm and gave it to President Tolbert during those days. So they were much more practical, much more pragmatic. But PPP, they just wanted, they wanted power right away. Okay. And Matthews announced that he was a communist. Not to say he announced it. In fact, he used to tease Tipotech and so on. He said, you know you're communist. You believe in communism. And, you're scared to say it. Talking about progressive this and that. He said, I'm a communist. Liberia would be a better country if we had a communist institution in place. So the government was focused on the PPP people. So then those were the troublemakers. That's why they rounded every one of them up. And I don't really know if they grab people like Comini, Wisse, John Stewart, and all those guys. I don't think they touched them. It was the PPP people that they went after, because those were the pronounced communists. And a lot of them were looking at what was happening in Africa. And you got to remember, during that time, the entire African continent was going through transformation. In South Africa, it was apartheid. You had the ANC, fighting the white regime. You had the same situation, Mozambique, Zimbabwe fighting for independence. So all that thing had influence in Liberia too. I mean, Liberia not an island, one African continent. So those influences were felt.
Okay, let's do it, Mr. Nubaba. Fred, ask your last question to Mr. Bila, and then we'll go around the table. Mr. Bila is back with us.
Mr. Bila, you hit the point where Mr. Cassett finished that part. I want to know also the Cold War. The Cold War played an important part during that period, and also play a part also in with the progressive in Liberia. There was one time America had to step in to say, though you have to remove all the progressive ministers or individuals from your government. So take out how the Cold War play into all of these actions that was taking place in Liberia, Mr. Bila.
Yes, indeed. The Cold War play a major role, because at that time there was something like between the West and the East, where we have the NATO and that of the Warsaw Pact, and then the communist system and the free enterprise system. So big countries like the United States and the Soviet Union at the time were running competition, and I said that Third War was saying Third War was part of the Long Alliance movement that was established from India at the time, and then Third War was someone who couldn't agree to anything. He was there in the interest of his people. So as I said earlier, that they wanted to be African, saying that to monitor Libya and the Arab League, and that African would have been built in Zredru, and they were offering the Liberian government $100 million. In 1978, when Jimmy Carter came, Turbo refused. At that time, Turbo had already become the OAU chairman in 1979, and he was to go to Zimbabwe on the April 14th. The coup took place April 12th. Before that time, the old rioters were arrested. Marcus Matthew, the rest of them, George Bole, Oscar Jaikuya, Sam Jalsing, Marcus Dan, all of them were in prison at the time. But there was a rumor sharing that it was just a rumor that Third War would have left Liberia and Zimbabwe, and those guys would have been executed because they were seen as troublemakers. So they didn't permit the 14 that Third was supposed to have left for Zimbabwe, and then the coup took place. Tobo was aware of the coup. This is why he didn't go to Bento. In fact, Barker Matthew then knew the situation, so they started to steal the show. And when he came out and said that he can bring in rice for $9, which was actually not true. So that thing alone played on the minds of the Liberian public, and then they were supporting Barker Matthew. And then the Moja, also held by Tupana Tipote, were also mounting pressure on the Togo government at the time. So that went in the minds of the people that they would have bring the rice price, same Togo say $20, reduce it from $22 to $20, they would have make it $9, which was not possible to do. We were even relying on something they call the PL480 rice, the Pusawa. They would send the PL480 rice on a credit and a loan, and we have to pay that loan. So there are a lot of money that the Liberian government was owing on the loan that was given on the PL 480. So Turbo wanted to reduce our dependence on getting food from outside. So the minister told us that the locals will be encouraged when the price go up to $26 for a 100-pound bag of rice. They will be able to, they will go back and make a large farm, because at that time they were self-sufficient. As I told you, in the interior, someone will have rice, and then that old rice will be in the attic next to the next harvest season. So that subsistence farming wanted to increase the way. But Turbo had the Agrimingo in Zredru. They were somewhere in Solotan and Zlatan producing rice. I was in Zredru at the time. And then they have the Ivorian group, the LPP, the LCCC that was that did the plantation in Konamo, Tuglo, and that of the Zlatan. In fact, through the Abrico's technical assistant by afforded the Liberian government by Ofe Bonye at the time. The manager was one Robert, who also married to a Liberian girl by the name of Mona Waha, a mulatto girl. Father, mother is a chain woman. So things were going where Agrimingo were producing rice in Zredru on the good scale. The LCADP in Lofa County, the NCADP in Bond County, in Nima County, and the BCADP in Bond County. So can you imagine to produce 50% of your rice? So if we have gone furthermore, then of course it would be advantageous to the Liberian government that were always buying rice and on a high price to subsidize the rice to the people. That was not business, and they were using the LPMC to do the distribution. In fact, some of the rice, the seed rice was sold to end from the public. I mean, from the interior was sold to LPMC. LPMC will go and mill the rice and resell it to the public. So things were going well. I had something that I saw myself. I was very big enough. So the political atmosphere at the time that Turbo already on the town bomb, something Tubman had, of course, since 27 years. So people were fed up with the one-party rule, who had ruled the country for 137 years, because from 1847 to 1980, April 12, 1980, were 137 years. And that coup, let me tell you, and I will be very glad that coup was not initiated by, it was not the 17 men. Can you imagine how can 70 men dislodge a battalion? A battalion is about 500 plus men, including headquarters. And then the weapon that was on displays, that they show on displays, the higher weapon that they showed that time, I can remember on the newspaper, was BAR. And then they have the M203A1, they have the M16A1, and that of the M203. And that thing took place. And there was a bunch of very West Point trained, like General Reddy, very trained military officers were at the mansion at that time. And then we noticed that more than 200 persons died during that coup, and then they were buried in mass grave, including Turbo and others. And then when you read a book from Victoria Turbo called Lifted, she said that it were white hands. There was no black person that entered the room that night. She said, and she was not a nurse call. She knew what happened in that the room. There was quarrel in the room. So it was not the 17 men that killed Turbo. What happened during the OAU, the American Special Forces trained Doe to direct the helicopter. So at that time, it was Doe, the Master Sergeant Doe, who actually knew. Or if you can remember in 1972, that the first person that was to plan that coup was Henry Corbett Johnson. And then when the CIA told Henry Corbett Johnson, went and told Turnbull that they want me to overthrow you. It was just within that interim that the American ambassador by the name of Samuel Z. Westerfield died in Liberia. People believe that Turnbull was the one that gave him tea and killed him. And then when they went to do the autopsy, the pathologists in the United States to the public that there was no foul play on the death of Samuel Z. Westerfield Jr. So there are a lot of things that interplayed during those years. A lot of things implied that Turnbull brought in the Dutch. Yeah.
Let me hold you right there, Mr. Bila. What I would like to suggest is that when because we got a full house, if you, Mr. Bila and Mr. Cassell, can keep your explanation just sustained to the point where we're gonna be able to go around the table for all our other panelists that will come in. So, Mr. Nubo,
yes,
your turn, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, and thanks to Mr. Bila and thanks to Mr. Bila and to Mr. Cassell. I 100% agree with Mr. Cassell when he talked about the power and the moja. I remember Tipote saying that what Bacchus and Power was doing was infantile. I remember that. But I differ with Mr. Bila, who said, the people broke into the stores like glass, hurt them. The Liberian government used live bullets to kill people. And Turnbull was producing rice.
Well, I said it. I said that you love everybody that died.
Okay, yeah. Let me learn. Turnbull was producing rice. Florence Cromwell were producing rice. And it was how many people from my town, Bololu, would have benefited from the increase in the price of rice? Because we're doing subsistence farming. Even people who were not part of Lofa County or development or agricultural development project or Grand Gate or Nimba or Bone, those people were doing subsistence farming. So it was a game. They were not going to benefit any of them. And you are here protecting Turnbull had a farm, rubber farm. The people that were working there, they were paid by the Liberian government. Turnbull had a school. But I have to make sure I went there because my relative was a matron there. The people that were working, I think you remember Dr. Banson. All the people that were working there were paid by the Liberian government. But that was private school. So, Turnbull played tricks that some of you did not realize. And I give thanks to Mr. Cassell. I don't want to take the whole night, but when it comes to Turnbull, if I had a chance, I can take the whole night. There's a man who went married to 13-year-old to be legal. So I rest my case. Thank you.
Okay, well, that's very nice of you. All right. So you want to respond, Mr. Bila, quickly?
Yes. I said that Bonnie Denster and that of the Justice Minister at the time, Oliver Bright, and sent in the police and they used live bullet. But everybody that was killed was not killed by the bullet alone. Majority of them were killed by the bullet. But some of them hearing the bullet and tried to run away. And then I saw it. I was in Monrovia and I saw glass cup people and other things, they died. That was not majority, as I said. And then one of the things that we said, well, the Michael Matthews said that the Turbo, the elite wanted to enrich themselves. Okay. Are you saying that we should continue to buy rice from the outside world to enrich the outside world than enriching our own people? Because at that time we were producing 50% of our rice.
Okay.
I think it would have been better. It would have been better that will take all of the money and take it outside. Today, the 100 pound of rice we are talking about that we argue for in during those years is now $100, 100 United States dollar for one bag of that long grain rice from the United States. Right now, $100 for one. And then the small one, the very small one, is $40 to $50. You see? So it's not a matter of backing Turbo. Sometimes we need to be patient. So maybe at this time would have been self-sufficient to produce our own rice. My mother also make farm, subsistence farm, and I told you that we had rice in the artist, and to the next time, the next harvest season, we'll still have the old rice, and we'll go into the new rice. So people in up interior were not buying the Pusawa, the imported rice, as is happening today. Or in the villages, people are buying rice from outside, imported rice that nothing they can produce on the gold mines and other places. But during those days of Turbo, it was not happening. So basically, that's the city area was the one selling those Pusawa, and most of the time it was strangers living in those counties were buying it who was not making farm. And Turbo agreed to bring it down from the $22 that they accepted to $20 after the riot. He said, okay, seeing it's the days, let me just make it $20. Because we disagree from $22 to $26. In fact, it was proposed. They never sold rice at $26. Florence Chilling will propose the increase of $26, which was never done. And the rioting took place. So Turbo went on radio. And then they said that the rice price is being reduced to $20. From $22 to $20.
Okay.
And then they felt that Turbo was under pressure, and then they continued. There were at a certain time they had midnight demonstration, midnight protest. Can you remember? So when the coup took place, the president called Michael Matthews because he was foreign minister at the time. He was talking about bringing rice for $9. Why didn't he bring rice for $9? And Tipote was the penny minister and said that the money that they got, it could even pay a young baby in the mother's stomach. And then he aborted some of those taxes. Said that Liberia shouldn't pay certain tax that was being paid during the Miracle Liberian regime, thinking that government would just get money from in the air. And you saw what happened. He was the first person to leave. He won a Holland. So they caused more trouble for us.
Actually, can I make a comment on what he said?
Yeah, quick follow-up. Go ahead.
Okay, quick follow-up. I want to jump on the Tipote issue first. When after the coup, Tipote stated how much money they had on hand. It was not much money. So he didn't say they could pay babies in the stomach of their mothers. And Tipote, the tax that Tipote abolished was a hard tax that people in villages pay. That's what Tipote abolished. Now, Mr. Bida said, his family, his mom, his pa, they had no rice in the attic. Were they selling the rice? They were not selling the rice. And so were the people in my village. So Turbo did that to benefit him because they were getting the expertise from WADA, West Africa Rice Development or Organization or Association.
Officer Ijero.
They were getting even the agricultural projects. WADA was the brain. that were providing the expertise. So no, I'm troubled that he is here tonight to protect Tobo. I'm very surprised, but we'll get at it when we get to back to this differ. I rest my case.
Okay, thank you. Here's what I want to do. Mr. Wright, you're going to have to bear with me. Let Mr. Nippet introduce himself, and then we're going to go to the line, take a few calls, and I'll come by. Mr. Wright, I'm going to come to you. This is your time so that you can be able to ask a question to our two phenomenal guests that we'll have on the show tonight. Mr. Nippet, please introduce yourself to our guests, Mr. Cassell and Mr. Bobila.
Gentlemen, welcome to our back to Denver. Mr. Joe Cassell, you said you don't want to be, only your father calls you Josephus. I will have properly address you, Mr. Josephus Cassell. But since you say Joe Cassell, let me just narrow it down to Joe Cassell. Mr. Bila, I was not on when the show started, so to call your proper name, I just will say Mr. Bila. Pardon me for that, because I was not on the show. My name is Christopher J. Nippet. I have represented Liberia at its embassy near Washington, D.C. as the political.
Is it a Christopher Nippet I knew that were playing football?
Well, let's go. We are in a panoramic introductory stage. So give me a break, please.
Thank you.
And Christopher J. Nippet served at the Chancellery of the Embassy near Washington, Liberia Embassy near Washington, D.C. I've also served as a medical representative for H. Robbins, 1407 Cummings Drive, Richmond, Virginia, working with Liberia's first female pharmacist, Honorable Clavina Bright Parker, Mrs. Clavina Bright Parker. I serve as LPMCs in 3 distinct capacities for the Import Department, Quality Control Department, and then its Ganta Estate as a system manager. All of those positions were as a system manager, respect. I am glad that I did not know that you gentlemen will come, because Fred and I were discussing the topic, what do we talk today? And I think in his thoughts that we should talk on the 1979 Let's Buy It. Just to refresh, try to see where Liberia went wrong, how we went wrong, compare and contrast what is ongoing today. So that will be a bird's eye view of who I am. Yes, to answer your question, I am the former goalkeeper of Mighty Barrow, i.e. Jet, St. Patrick's, and you can go on and name it. So yes, I am the person whom you just referred.
Already.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sir.
Let's hold it right there. Mr. Nippet, we're going to come back and we're all going to engage. We still got enough time on him here to do this. So, Mr. Wulu, are you there? Mr. Wulu? So Wulu, so you're doing some administrative work in the back. Okay, there you go. All right. At this time, gentlemen.
All right. Well, folks, and of course, I said this evening to the been following the show. I beg to differ. Listen to discussions, questions from our panelists. Listen to the show. It's about time that we go to the phone line and hear from you. Some of you been here before during that time. You can come up to with your 0776-105-105 881-143504 776-105-105 881-143504. And let's hear you. The line is open tonight. Going to be live here on the program. I beg to differ. 0776105105 881-143504. Let's hear from you.
If you make small, pull your step up. I got this guy. We go talk, guys. We go talk.
0776105105 881-143504. Folks, if you're just joining us, you are listening to the program I beg to differ here on top 105.3, the broadcasting system that teach our people communications incorporated. And we're here this wonderful evening on the program I beg to differ. Let's hear from you. 776-105-105 881-143504 0776 105-105 881-143504 are the two numbers supported you here this evening, and you're going to be part of the show. I beg to differ. You listen to Mr. Cassell explaining welcome to April 14 rest riot in our country, Liberia. You listen to Mr. Boy Bila giving his view here. Welcome to that same April 14 rest riot in our country. It's about time that we hear from you. There are other people who was here at that time, or who follow the stories, or who know the history. You can come on to tonight and let's hear from you. 776-105-105 881-143504 0776-105-105 881-143504 are the two numbers that the callers tonight. You're going to be part here on top 105.3. We still have time, so yeah, let's hear from you, man. 776-105-105 881-143504. Wow, what's going on here? Let's see. Lone Star Lines have a late problem. Let me see if I can do that adjustment.
My people, hello time, Top FM 105, 3 we on the air. Leader shout, Sheku Koroma. Run ready, hit the play.
Alex.
We're back there. He back to differ.
You can send it back. You can get people. Let us know. We'll bring the caller in. We got a lot to discuss tonight. I don't want us waste time.
Let's just give them about 3 minutes. Let's see, because somebody touched the station phone and the Lone Star scene was not on. So maybe people try to call the Lone Star and they were not getting us too. But yeah, give about 2 minutes, anything by 10:45 and turn it over to you guys. 776-105-105 881-143504. If you're trying to call on the Lone Star line, it's now on. You can put a call through. They're going to be live here. 776-105-105 881-143504. 0776-105-105 881-143504 are the numbers supported through 2 minutes. Let's hear from you. By 10:45, we go over to the panelists and continue on the show. So it's about time that you put in your calls, right? Yeah, it's an opportunity to give them to you. You can call, ask questions. Yes, let's take in Bere Katu. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, Mr. Ulu, good evening. And good evening to all of our professors. Welcome in class. Thank you. Let me say a very big thank you to all of the analysis or information that is being provided by our professor. So my question is, because I started trying to think, and compare those days and that of the current activities that are taking place now. What I want to understand is those days when there is protest, and in fact, especially so the rest riot protest. was there anything like police brutality as compared to a current event that is taking place from our police force, that when citizens are carrying on protests and we experience a lot of brutality on the side of the police against the protesters? So I want to know whether it also happened just as we are experiencing it like this during those days, especially Red Riot, that of April 12, other one that they experienced prior to our current days activity. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being part of the show. Let's see the times. If time not in our favor, we'll give it back. Okay. So, Mr. Rai, you guys can take over. If there's call, then I will let you know.
I think I can answer the caller.
Yeah, please. Was that Mr. Cassell?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
please go ahead.
He asking if there was any violence between, kind of like what's happening now, what happened during Toba time. But the whole April 14, that's what people call it, the Rice Riots. Because when Matthews and his group went out there saying they were advocating for, for equity within society and all that, whether we like it or not, the Liberian government fired live ammunition into the crowd. People got killed. Okay? People got killed. So I doubt if that sort of thing happening now in Liberia. I mean, I haven't been to Liberia for at least 1 year now because I didn't go last year, but since 2005, I'm there every year. So I think it's a lot better now because the people that are running the show in Liberia, I assume they learn from the history of the past. So they're not shooting willy-nilly into a crowd of defenseless citizens. That wasn't the situation in on April 14, 1979. In fact, that was one of the reasons. As I mentioned, that was one of the reasons that Toba got afraid. He couldn't trust the Liberian military, and then he went to Guinea, called the Guinean soldiers in. But yes, to answer your question, they actually shot live ammunition into the crowd and killed people. Oliver Bright, Vonnie Dempster. That's why as soon as in fact, Toba set up a commission, right? You remember Fred? He set up a commission, and that commission was to do a diagnostic, look at what really happened. And he decided that Oliver Bright, who was his justice minister, had to go. So he fired Oliver Bright, and guess who he brought in? Fred, you remember? He brought in
that commission was held by Nettie C. Brunet.
He brought in Joseph Chesson, who was put on the pole April 22nd and killed the following year. So yeah, there was a live ammunition, shot into a defenseless crowd. That nobody can escape that. It happened. It happened. In fact, my friend, a guy called Gabriel Scott. Okay, Gabriel Scott was, he had just come from the States with his master's in criminal justice, and he was in the Liberian National Police Force. That's how he got shot, mysteriously, because they were just shooting all over, and somebody shot and killed him. So yeah, we learn from the people.
Okay, let me come in a little bit.
They passed. But go ahead.
Yeah, more than 50 persons were killed. In fact, according to Deacon Carlo,
that was going to be my question. I'm glad you answered that. I'm going to say, how many people got killed on that day? I'm glad you answered that. Thank you.
More than 50 persons were killed by Vonnie Dempster and his police. In fact, in history, Vonnie Dempster, who is one of the ruthless police director, including C. Wellington Campbell, a lot of things took place in the past that people lose the life even from the 1920s in crew codes and other places. So we are not talking about that one now. But comparing that with today's date, it was just what happened in Kinjor, that people were also shot and killed. I think we saw it lively. But under the Madam Helen Johnson Sirleaf, it never happened. Under George Weah, it never happened.
No, I beg to differ. Mr. Villa. I beg to differ. You remember the kid, the sedition called a martyr?
Oh yeah. You're right. I forgot that. You're right. At the party headquarters, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So thank you guys. That was beautiful. Let's now go to Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright, you can ask a question to any one of our two esteemed guests, special guests here tonight.
All right, thank you, and thank you to the guest. But I'm not sure I want to do a question, but I just want to point out a few things that I observed. And one of them is the Mr. Cassell and Mr. Bidel both
Bila. In law.
That one that Bila you call Bila.
Bila.
All right, so before Mr. Ragwire, Mr. Rag, can we screen in the person before Mr. Ragwire?
Okay, Mr. Rag, please, please go ahead.
Yeah, near where do you join from?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Wu. This is good once again. Learning class, from what the person want to explain to you, sometimes and bring questions. So here is my question again. We kept hearing the name Gabriel's background mafia, people arches anyway. During those events, was Mr. Amos Taylor, who's arches as well. Talk about now people, you guys also around in collaboration with Gabriel's background mafia? If yes, why do you think the news are not really, in the ears of people as compared to background mafia? We really want to get. Thank you.
So you mean sure you have to call a different number because I'm forgetting your number.
Okay, can I come in?
We're gonna have Mr. Wright make his comment, and then Mr. Be Like You and Mr. Casa can pick up the question. And then maybe you can just respond to Mr. Wright comments in the same vein. Yeah.
All right, so the angle I was going, Mr. Cassell and Mr. Bila sounded in the way when they said Marcus and his team suggested or offered that they could bring rice, and then they spoke the English. They did not have it. Sounded to me like they were already siding with the government. So they spoke the way they did this evening. So it means whatever the elites were doing at the time, for whatever reason they had, they believed it. In my view, as a young man coming up at that time, I saw it like the president himself and his elites that were close to him making more money out of Liberia and Liberians than any other person. Because the farming that the two of them spoke about that people were doing up in Tyre, those people were not selling rice. Yes, they were not buying rice, but they were not selling rice equally. People who were in urban areas were the ones who were buying rice. So carrying rice price up at the time benefited the president, the agriculture minister, and the people who were in their class. And I thought when the opposition said, forget about increasing the rice price, in fact, we can bring rice, it was a matter of trying them to see them fail. Then they just conclude, because that was the conclusion at the time. Whenever you sounded like you came from the communist background, you were referred to as a troublemaker. That's the term the government had for you. And then between the progressives, among the progressives themselves, they had two groups. The PAC group that were headed by Parkers, and then the Moja group that were headed by Dr. Tipote, the group in which people like Sawyer were. Now, that group was like a tricky group to me. Tipote was making business with companies training their unions. So he didn't have the time, like the way they refer to Parkers and his group at the time, noisemaker, trouble people, and Parkers and his people, they had that talent of putting people in the street. So Tipote and his group were like kind of allied to the government indirectly in a tricky way. They were working and making money. Parkers and his group were seen as socially oriented. They were connecting them to the Russian during the Cold War. So they were bad people. They were troublemakers in the country. And I thought that wasn't fair. I respectfully differ with that from the two speakers. I thought the balance was the government took a decision that was not in the interest of the country. And if the opposition figures at the time said they could bring rice, the government was supposed to create the platform so to say, if they can bring the rice, then it means they are troublemakers for true. They were lying, but they were never given the opportunity. They had our umbrella over there, troublemaker of our people. And then when it comes to protest and government reaction itself, I know most part of it would be about the next round on the show that I have to do with today. But I very much think much has not changed. Government's reaction to protest. In 47 years ago, April 14, 1979, government acted hard, and information is that about estimated 200 people died on that day as a result of the Rush riot. As recently as last year, people died from protests. Armless protesters died from government or police brutality. I'm not sure about today. I didn't hear anything about death, but the few videos I saw, it was a replay of April 14, 1979. And I did a post this evening. April 14 repeats 2026, 47 years later. We had a small group of people that went in the street today, met very stiff resistance from the government. And I thought it didn't really show that over 47 years, Liberia has changed when it comes to handling protestation. In between, during the last administration, there are pictures to show or videos to show the same police that is behaving the way they are behaving today, feeding protesters.
Yeah, giving water, giving food.
Giving water, giving food. The same police did it. Then the same police now kill people in Kinshasa. And then today they are mal-handling students. So like I said, instead of the question, I just thought I should make the point that I just made. Thank you for bringing me in.
Thank you. Mr.
Yes.
Bobby, like you, either way can respond.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Let me come in. The opposition at the time did not disagree with the initial price, which was $22. They went against the proposed increasement of $26. There where the problem came from. And that was a proposal. And the government concurred with them that, in fact, making it $22, which is the initial price, we are making it $20. I think that there was a good dialogue. We shouldn't have gone that far. A lot of things happen in other countries like Ivory Coast, like and Guinea. But we went to war, and you know what happened when the crisis came upon crisis, and see where we are today. If we had bad patience, trouble would have left easily. Even though would have left easily, those said that I won't run in the 1981 elections that were coming. We didn't listen. We haven't been patient. Guinea did not fight war to remove Sekou Touré or Lassana Conte. Ivory Coast did not fight war to remove Houphouët Boigny.
You mean 1991 or not 1981?
Yeah, 91. Yeah, 91. They didn't fight war to remove Houphouët Boigny, to remove Bédier. You see, would have bad patience. Since that Tobo agreed that back on Matthew, what you say, okay, I'm bringing it down to $21. I think we will just to avoid it that way and be patient to see. And about Sawyer was part Sawyer, Bomber Formula Junior were all part of the Moja. In fact, Tobo, those guys wanted power. Then Sawyer was at the University of Liberia, inciting students, and then he wanted to be city mayor to test the water. He wanted to be Moria city mayor at the time. You see, so all of them wanted power, and they demonstrated during those administrations. So this is how those who came together after the coup went a loggerhead again. So since that time, we have not been going in front, we have been going backward. This is what I'm saying. Whether who right, who is wrong, yeah, we are going backward, yeah. Since that time.
Beg to differ, but I'll let Mr. Casado come in first.
I beg to differ 3 times.
Yeah, one of the issues we had in Liberia during those days was that all the advocates that were out there were all young people. Very, very young people. Matthews, Sam Jackson, Tipote, they were all in their, I think, late 20s, 30s. Tipote were probably like maybe 34 years old. People that nowadays, when you see them, you almost call them Peking. But those were the advocates. They had no experience. Everything they said was theoretical. They read it in books. They had no institutional knowledge on how to build things. And they just came because they were loud and they saw the people listening to them. They just went onto the mountaintop and shouted. But that said, they were shouting, and their shouts had currency because the people that they were shouting at had a lot of issues. It was that
was self-perception, Mr. Cassell.
Yeah, let me get land.
Sure.
It was a one-party situation, right? A one-party state that had been in power for maybe
137 years.
100
at the time.
137
years.
Yes. So they were vulnerable. There was that vulnerability there. The people that are shouting against you, you know they got no experience, barely any expertise. They came straight from the United States. Some of them were doctorate, with PhDs, and went straight to the university. Never worked in the United States. So everything they were doing was theoretical. They used to walk around with the Red Book by Mao Zedong, the Chinese Communist Party leader at that time. That's what they used to read from. Because
and Karl Marx.
Yeah, Karl Marx. Those were the people. Everything there was theoretical. Marx came up with his book about communism, the dictatorship of the proletariat. Show me one communist country that is successful. Show me right now.
Oh no! I beg to differ, Mr. Cassell. Please stop.
China.
Stop it.
China. Number 1 is China.
Show me one country.
Vietnam.
Let him speak.
Show me one.
No, but he asking question. Is it rhetorical?
Yeah, but you're talking
So
about
number 3 is Russia.
China.
I'm sorry. Let get Mr. Cassell the floor, please.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
China is not practicing communism as we know it. It's not the communism of Frederick Engels and Karl Marx. That's not it. You cannot call China a communist country. Well, you see, it has this dictatorship. There's somebody making noise in the
Where is this sound coming from now?
dictatorship, and you got their version of the euro and everything. But it's a market economy. Karl Marx didn't want that. He wanted no market economy. So that's not communism. That's not communism as envisioned by Marx and Engels. No. So that's why show me one communist country that's successful.
Okay.
And he's from Germany. He's from Germany.
Show me just one. Then somebody say, oh, well, how about Korea or how about Cuba?
Okay.
Let's
Mr. Wright, he's responding to my comment. So can I come in with 1 or 2 minutes? Mr.
Okay, let Mr. Kassa finish up quick. Mr. Kassa, please land.
Basically, they were very young, inexperienced people. They had no knowledge. They didn't know how to build anything. Because, like I said, they were very young. Most of them were in their 20s, late 20s, early 30s. They came straight from university in the United States, ran straight to the University of Liberia teaching, like Brahma Formula and things. You know, there's no expertise. They didn't know how to build anything. And I learned.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Kassa. Mr. Wright, a quick follow-up.
Yeah, sure. So you see the same thing I was saying, perception. These people were not given the practical platform to come and work and fill, but they were perceived as inexperienced. They were perceived as troublemakers. And because of that perception, they were treated in that way. And I thought that was not fair. Thank you.
But they took over as foreign minister. They took over as planning minister. They control the government. When Doe took over, in fact, President Doe told them at the time, he said, "My man, you had the thing here. You take it." They said, "No. When the military take over, it's the military leader that can rule." So because of that, Doe make all of them major. They were civilian, and Doe had to make them major, and all of them, including Charles, were all major. They were controlling the government. After they failed, Doe had to turn to the people that he overthrew, bringing in Leroy Francis and what is man, Adolphus King, and Kekura Koto, all of the very people that work in the oligarchy. He brought them back, right? Because his own people that he was depending on let him down.
There was a skill set misaligned.
I beg to differ.
Mr. Bila, I seriously beg to differ respectfully. What you will define as failure in your context was different from the reality on the ground. Liberia was getting into military government for the very first time, and the entire country was an experiment. So when the military people took over, all of us had our kind of mind that Bacchus and Co were people who were fighting for the change in the country. So when the military took over, the military brought them in and said the thing is in your hand. Those are the things we heard, those are the things we saw, they were giving them a position. But working with with an inexperienced military at the time who were confused, and soon confusion came among them. They were very difficult to work among. So you can use that as a yardstick to grade them. Thank you. Mr. Wright?
Well, Mr. Wright, I don't know what's going on with him.
We are two rights here. Mr. Nimbo.
I'm talking about the co-host.
Oh, okay.
But I wanted to respond to this guy who asked the question that is it the way our police, maybe our military have been behaving? Yes.
Absolutely.
No.
Not from you. Emmanuel, yes, Liberia won in 1979. Liberia was 132, not 37.
I have, Mr. Wright, I have the floor now. I have the floor now.
Yeah.
Okay, I want all of y'all to please wait, because Mr. Nippy has not asked. Mr. Nippy has not commented yet. Now that he's
okay.
Let's give Mr. Nippy the floor.
Okay.
Mr. Nippy.
Well, you see, my own training provides me a comfort zone. When people are speaking, I try to listen. I try to listen where they are falling short. I try to listen where logic is in a sequence. I try to listen So when I come in, I can set a course of our conversation. And I think our two distinguished guests have missed the mark. They have missed the mark, and using qualitative adjectives, which I would just sum up to say the people were inept. They were not properly groomed. They had just come from the university in the United States and then jumped into the water to swim. They didn't have any bearings that would have given them the leverage or the latitude to have performed in the political space. I beg to differ. And why do I beg to differ? I beg to differ because there is a genesis of what served as a catalyst to the PAL, Progressive Alliance of Liberia, to the movement of justice in Africa, to the magazine that was written by university students called The Revolution, that was spearheaded by Jesus Weeks, and at a subsequent time by Willa Russell. And then I bring on board the old man who took his mat around with his umbrella, Albert Pold, and talk about gullible business. Several pieces of things were falling at the time. Honor the dominance of a single individual annexed to his brother's ruling. Do I credit His Excellency, the sling President Talbot, is doing very well for Liberia? Of course I do. Do I stand to raise his hand off and commend him? Of course I do. But do I see a contrast in the administrative pattern of President William R. Talbot, His Excellency? Yes, I do. And why do I see this different pattern? I bring on board the then Secretary of Finance of the Department of Finance, his brother Steve Talbot. Steve Talbot, as Finance Minister, organized during the aegis of his honor the administration of his brother Mesurado Group of Companies. There were sectors of that company that have 5 legs. The Mesurado Fishing Company, Fishing Farm, the WASPRO, West African Soap Production. You had the Oxygen, you had the Sangay Farm, and you had the sewing, taking it from Mr. Weeks. Those were the things that were brewing. And then Florence will come. When these things were happening and the leaflets had saturated Monrovia and its environs, peace be to her arches, Honorable Florence Chinaway, then Minister of Agriculture, will try to advance a new thinking. When all of these things were being cataloged and people were writing, people were speaking, Albert Pold had gone to jail, Albert Pold had come from jail, Jesus Weeks and all of those people were writing. Florence, in her annual report, has said by Mr. Cassell, Joe Cassell, proposing $26 or $27 for a bag of rice. It was not the country rice that they were talking about. It was the rice that was coming from the United States. So Baker, we use that as removing the pin from from the grenade to have a catalyst to rein in the minds of the Liberian people. That you have gobbling business on the one hand, and here was the president's agriculture minister, instead of producing rice, we're talking about rice to be $27. I brought that history into play so that we can understand ourselves that the progressive did not only act, there was a precursor culminating into the April 14, 1979 rice riot. My second point on there, after giving the history and the historical background, I come to the point where when the students were demonstrating, and my dear Mr. Kassa brought in the Guinean troop because of the understanding that had reached between Ahmed, His Excellency President Ahmed Sekou Touré, and my own president, the slain President William R. Tolbert. That coming into the play where they could have just sorted out in a way that government would do, they brought in an expatriate group of armed men into the country, enveloping the security arena, which caused the AFL to immediately withdraw. And as a direct result of the people that were killed, one of whom were my pops, Mrs. Clavina Bright Parker's niece, Jassie's Sandoway. I think I said Sandoway or something like that, but she has a vile name, but I know her name was Jassie. Jassie was studying at the table when the gunshot ran from the barrels of the shooter's gun and pierced her skull. The University of Liberia student haven't heard that she and some other students had died. There was this midnight struggle, eventually turned into April 14th. So when we want to drive a narration, we should be careful that it is not only us who have a handle on the political events in Liberia. No. There are some of us that have been very reticent, but we know exactly what transpired in Liberia. So everything cannot be blamed on the political class of people who, like Mr. Kassa said, we're talking about communism. Okay. Of course, communism is a brand of governance.
Let allow the guests to come in. Mr. Nippes.
No, let me land now. Let me land. I have not spoken. Let me land.
Okay.
My thought is, my airplane is way up high. I come to land.
It keep going up. The attitude keep
no,
going up.
No. It has an equilibrium of proportion. So I'm coming to land now.
Okay.
The thrust is coming down. Yeah. And so when we're talking these things, we have to be careful. China is up, market economy. Oh yeah, but the whole thrust of it, the platform of its political activities is based on communism, communal system. And nobody
can. Even the democracy is not a democracy.
It's not a democracy. No, I tell you, Lola, you are in my mind,
Miss Economics.
You are in my mind. So when we are talking these things, we have to be careful and cautiously speak to the issue, such that give you a well-grounded expose that we can all understand logically. So I stop right there. I just wanted to make a comment. I don't want to question, but I just want to dive into the background and bring us up to speed.
Thank you.
And let me just say, William Howard Talbot in 1979 was the OAU chairman, because I recall vividly that Lucifer Lule of Uganda was here, and let us leave it right there. So I just wanted to just comment instead of
Thank you.
differing.
My throat.
Thank you, Mr. Dippin. Let's go to the two guests and let's have them make a quick response, and don't go around the table again. Yes.
And then when I take that from my throat, they will come by and make response.
Why don't you give it to Mr. Nubo? Give it to Mr. Nubo. Let's give them a piece of meat that they can chew on. Let's give them a piece of meat that they can chew on.
If anybody got to give a piece of meat,
I think Veteran Smith gave him go soup. That's why he did that.
If anybody, you know what? Okay, go ahead, Mr. Nubo.
Okay. Somebody said that these people were young people, people telling this and that.
Mr. Cassell said that.
Yes. How old you have to be president of Liberia? 35 years?
35.
Yeah.
People that were 37. I don't know about Bacchus.
Bacchus was 26 years old.
Okay, but Tipote, when it started Moja, they were dealing with the students, the intellectual. And Bacchus came, Bacchus brought market women, everybody on board. And there were things that Tipote or Bacchus could do that Tipote could not do, or Sawyer could not do, because Bacchus' mother was his niece. Bacchus must go and do the research. And Tobo knew that Bacchus was related to a president. So Tipote from somewhere, Grand Crew, or Sawyer from Maryland or Freetown, the leniency that Tobo applied towards Bacchus, he could not have done that. And one of you said, Tipote took produce from his farm from Grand Gator County and gave the produce to Tobo. So it means that he was thinking. And I don't know how old you people were, but our people were basic. That's it for the fact that these progressive, be it Power or be it Moja, they open their eyes. And then today we turn around. We, the so-called intelligentsia, we are beating on them. We say they brought trouble that killed trouble. I beg to differ with you. And to get to the question, if brutality existed in the past, I know the number of people that they kill, global people that caused us to join Liberia. I know the Crew War. They killed 81 men, chiefs, including chiefs, 49 women, 29 children. I'm talking about 1915 now, and burned 44 towns. So do you think I'll have sympathy for Tobol? I will have sympathy for Tugman? These are the people who enslaved us in our own country. So I beg to differ with both of you. I beg to differ with both of you. I don't want to use any adjective. I just say I beg to differ with both of you. I rest my case.
Alrighty. Mr. Bila and Mr. Cassell. I think Mr. Bila is frozen.
I don't think he made a good case as to what he begged to, to differ from. Because everything I said is grounded in reality.
I'm going to mute you a little bit, sir.
Everything I said is grounded in reality. The people that were the progressive advocate during those days, not only were they young, but they were immature. I said they had no institutional experience in building anything. Unless somebody challenged me and say, no, it's a lie. Tipote got a Liberian scholarship. He went to the United States. As soon as he got his PhD, he came home. It's not like this generation. This new generation of Liberians are more qualified than those people in the past, because at least the new generation, they will stay here after graduation, they work, and then they go home. And then there's that transfer of skills. But all these guys had were like, I think people had a degree in economics. What's his name? Sawyer had his degree in political science. Did Tipote work within the United States before going to Liberia? Say within, some sort of economic infrastructure within the United States? No. So that.
let me post to your point.
Yeah.
Just like the Minister Honor George Weah, who never did any economic work in America here, went back home, read books, and became law and became Minister of Finance. But go ahead, sir. I just want to make
There you go. You're making my point. So that's was the situation during those days. It was all theoretical. And let me tell you, I met this lady, an elderly lady, when I visited Liberia in 2000, I think it was 2006. So we're in Buchanan. And when I told her at the time that I live in California, she said, oh, I used to live there. I said, oh, interesting. So I thought that you were well anchored within the Liberian community. So I asked her, she said, oh, I did my master's at UC Berkeley, which is one of the best institutions in the world. So I started asking her about people in the 70s when they were here, that live in that area. And she said, no, I got a scholarship when I graduated from Cottontown. The government sent me to get my master's. She said, as soon as I got my master's, the next week I was on the plane to Monrovia. That's the Liberian experience during those days. That was the experience. So the Tipote, the Matthews, they can't show you one thing that they ever created or built. They were more about the political conscientization, which is fine. Because the people needed to know that, say, for instance, Matilda Newport Day was not a necessity because they have one group of Liberians celebrating against another group of Liberians. Those things were fine. But those are not the people you would take to put in, very strategic places to run a government. No. Tipote went to the Ministry of Planning. And I should know it. I was a journalist at that time, a young journalist working with the New Liberian. Tipote he was utter hydrotus. He didn't have a clue as to what to do. He didn't know it because he was misaligned skill-wise. And it happened over and over and over. Those are those guys, they actually set the stage for Liberia's decline. Yeah, nice. Matilda Newport Day, the hot tags. Yeah, that's fine. That is fine. But where do you go next? The hot tags bad. Yeah, that's fine. You move the hot tags. Okay, what's next? You teach your people to be reliant, not self-reliance. That's what those guys were doing. Even the whole concept of the rice riot. Instead of teaching your people how to feed themselves and all that, grow what you eat. You say, oh, the people want to get a repress. Oh, let's go demonstrate. Come on now. Step back and see if that makes sense.
Mr. Cassell, the people were mean with the job. They didn't get the people job to do to prove themselves. They were perceived as inexperienced people who came from school, who didn't work anywhere before.
Mr. Right.
Their children that came from school here, they were immediately employed. Nobody questioned their qualification.
That my friend Sam Jackson is a very, very good friend of.
Okay, Sam Jackson did not have any clue when he went to finance. I'm telling you now.
Sam Jackson was given a job at finance. The Minister of Finance, Toba gave him a job. Toba offered Bacchus Matthews a job. Matthews said no. He said he didn't want no job. He running a political party and stuff like that. Yeah. They offer everyone. Let me tell you what Toba did also, because one day and Fred probably know this too.
Okay, guys, I just want to say that, Mr. Cassell, if you go any further, I think we're going to stay on this topic.
I think we got to go right back to day 4.
Yeah, then what we're going to do now, what I'm about to say. So we're going to stay on the topic, and Mr. Cassell, at this point, this is what we call the crossfire. Anybody can jump in, but we'll do it in an organized way.
Okay, let me just.
I don't have to call you. If Mr. Cassell says something you disagree with, just say you beg to defer. You come in, you say your piece, you move, and he continue. That's what we're going to do it now.
Let me just land quick. Okay, in 79, my editor, a guy, the late Stanton Peabody, he called me because in his office there was 2 guys. One guy called Baik Bala, the other guy was called Monkomana. There was a 3rd guy that was supposed to be with them called Charles Taylor, but he didn't show up that day. They say, oh, they left me at the hotel. So they came. They didn't know much about where the various press and other news media was. And they came to Mr. Peabody, and Peabody said, Cassell, take them around, show them where John Scotland, Sunday Express, where Dripper, Inaugural, and show them the EFB because they had a statement. And I remember Baik Bala, because when we dropped Monkomana or some other thing he had, was telling me, he said he did not like what PPP were doing. He said the smartest strategy is what Moja doing. They're being much more pragmatic. He said, but these guys, they will just blow up things, and that's what they want.
I suppose you were a pro-government journalist, Mr. Cassell.
Coming from Baik Bala during those days. You are saying what?
I suppose you were a pro-government journalist.
I worked for the government, yeah, at that time, yeah.
So you see, that's why you are speaking the way you are speaking.
Yeah, but I was in my 20s.
I agree.
I'm an old man.
But we needed to know that full disclosure. We needed to know that full disclosure.
But you are towing the same line, Mr. Cassell. You are towing the same line. Because when you have graduated from a university, having had your BSc qualified, you go and get your master, you get a PhD. What is it there? How do you land yourself into experience? Experience is not something that you take from the classroom. Experience is for the world. Yeah. So to verify them and say they were inexperienced, they had not been anything. Yeah. And Mr. Matthew had worked at the embassy of Liberia before. And they said they had not built anything. I mean, it's too condescending. Like in your case, you could have. Let me answer. I'm just commenting. I'm not asking you questions. I'm just commenting. You could have landed as an editor-in-chief.
Okay.
By working with Mr. Stanton Peabody.
Okay.
You said that you were a young man, but you had not started journalism. You were a freelance journalist, if you agree on the show. You were a freelance journalist at the time.
Had no clue what journalism was.
We have been proper. For me knowing that you had not started journalism, but you were writing in a newspaper. Would that be a good assessment to say the man who writing there ain't know nothing about journalism?
That's not true. First thing, you're wrong.
And Mr. Kasia is saying today why he wrote 47 years ago.
Let me explain this.
Yes, sir.
Talbot came because there was a whole lot of misinformation and disinformation in Liberia at the time. So Talbot decided to set up what Liberian news agency. Okay, to do that, they built this educational infrastructure. Okay, in fact, I still got my certificate. It lasted 11 months. It was kind of like a journalism boot camp with journalists from all over the world that came to teach us how to write editorials, to write news stories, and all that. So to say that I just went in without any sort of knowledge, no, that's not true. That's not.
But then you were a journalist. You had no experience. Now you got to qualify that language. You had no experience, and that's the point I'm proving to you. You have had no experience at the time. You came from this seminar, this workshop, and then you were writing pieces of papers. Because journalism is just about a journal of information that you transcribe into writing.
Okay.
But you have no experience. How can you today say that Tipota had no experience? Back on off that way. And when you yourself, I'm coming, sir. I'm coming. This is a.
You heard what I said. I have no experience, but I went through the New Liberian newspaper, the Redeemer newspaper, the
so that if I may interject, if I will interject with your kind permission, sir.
Go ahead.
The likes of Tipota, the likes of G. Barker Matthew, Oscar Quia, they had to land themselves into a space because education provides us a garden post that when we land ourselves into those spaces, then we begin to acquire the requisite knowledge that elevates our competency. And that's exactly what you are telling me that you did. So I haven't drilled yourself through that channel. You should not be on this show, and that's where I beg to differ. You should not be on this show and trying to come down on the expertise, the knowledge that this guy had acquired, sacrificially acquired over the years, and they were provided a space. I provided the audience, the radio audience, and you, our panelists, a background information that culminated into the crisis.
Mr. Nepe,
that does not go well for you to say they did not have any information, knowledge. They are not based on anything, sir.
We are speaking in 1979, that almost 50 years ago. We're not talking about
7 years exactly.
No, just tell us for the 7 years, not 50.
Your logic falls apart because we're talking about 1979. You're talking like you're talking about today.
No. If we were talking 1979 and the people came on board 1980, you cannot be so condescending that they have no experience.
Yeah, but tell me, Tipota experience to run the Ministry of Planning and Development. Tell me.
So has it been? With Mr. Dennis. Mr. Dennis just came from the States and became Commerce Minister. What was the experience that Mr. Dennis had to have become Commerce Minister?
Mr. Nipe, let's stop this. What about it?
No. You see, we all went to school. That's why one of your people asked if I the footballer who play football. Football got nothing to do with this thing here. This is intellectual exercise. So I can be. I'm coming, Mr. Casa. Rest your case. Rest there. Rest on your oars. Give me the opportunity to differ with you, please. I crave your understanding, sir. I crave your understanding. The point I am driving home to you.
I can make this point. Yeah. the editorials Mr. Cassell was writing then, 47 years ago, about the way they perceived those people.
Exactly, political editorials.
Yeah, that's why he's now telling us today, 47 years after that time. So you couldn't see that these people had any room.
No qualify that. He was not critically thinking. He was not critically thinking. He was towing the line of the True Party.
I respectfully beg to differ.
So we differ with you. Because you come from a generation where Abayemi Cassell was Secretary of Justice. Abayemi Cassell lived right by the Beaumont Bridge. I know his house. I know his children. We all play together. But to be so condescending that a man who has a PhD know nothing, never pay anything. They just talking and chunking in the office.
Let me correct that.
And you who attended a workshop.
Yeah, you came from workshop and you start writing for government papers. You didn't come from a journalism school.
No.
Say so to us.
Okay, you're allowed Mr. Cassell to put in a word now, please. I beg you.
I know.
I'm fired.
No, this is actually no disrespect. We are being frank and we are different.
Honest. We are being honest.
I agree. You're allowing to throw some more in there too.
No, let me leave an African parable before he comes in there.
Oh, there you go.
When you translate bus behind you, you can't tell the man who translate is too in front of him that he has on a bus transit because both of you are worn bus transits. So I just want to leave it right there so you can come in.
Let me make a clarification.
Okay.
The name Cassell. My father was a ward of the Cassell family. My father was a Sapo man they brought from Sino to Monrovia. So let's get that straight. That's how he got
I know that's enough with it. I would say
so that's how he got.
I will speak Sapo to you today.
So
I wouldn't want to go that route.
You see, let's just say this. We've got a tendency of shouting.
You don't make Mr. Cassell to come out of his shell though. They're tearing that way from a real.
For me, we shouldn't go that route on this show.
Let's just say this.
No, of course not.
You can become emotional, but you still haven't made your point. All you did was
my point is made.
Shouting and you became emotional. You started pulling things from everywhere.
No. That's the same disingenuous thing you're doing, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Cassell.
That's the same disingenuous thing you're doing.
When you are talking, and I let you talk.
No, I can interject. This is an intellectual exercise here. Nobody pulling straw from here and trying to let fufu stick on the wall. Nobody is yelling here. I said I was not going to differ with you, but when you start to condescend, to vilify, and make less an importance of the people who have done well in the society, then I had to come in to differ with you, sir. I was not pulling pieces here. I don't pull pieces.
You're talking over me.
No, I'm not talking. I said I'm interjecting, and you permitted me, sir.
Well, you want us to interject when you're talking, I can interject too. But when you are talking,
okay, I agree.
Okay.
I agree. I agree, partner.
But you still have not knocked my point. I was basically saying that these guys, they came and they wanted to run things. They didn't have any institutional knowledge. And that's what I said. I mean, they were in the business of activism, conscientizing people and all that. That was, I mentioned it. They came up with Matilda Newport.
He just wanted a conversation.
Yeah, he really wanted the conversation.
He really wanted it. I beg to differ there. If I may interject with your kind permission.
What are you interjecting over? Is it a lie I'm telling?
No, that's not true. Agostino
The same
Neto.
thing you said and what you say
Agostino Neto. Agostino Neto. He had no government experience. Samora Marcel had no government experience. Nganandi Sitoli had no government experience.
And you come from school, where do you go for government experience?
What
When you
government
come from school,
experience?
where do you go for government experience?
Exactly. And he became governor.
So what you do? You go through the
experience there.
You go through the process and learn. That's where we are, because everybody want to run things.
So
you from school.
So JJ Brown went through a process from Bible to president, right? So why people couldn't go through that?
People that were getting out.
Why Dr. Tyre couldn't go through that? Why couldn't go through that? Why
you label those people when they enter the country?
Couldn't go through that?
You label them.
Cutting hair, even though I don't get hair for anybody to cut, but JJ Brown was cutting hair, and from there he became president.
No, forget about that. Let me come back again. Stephen Allen Benson was a trader along the Bassa Cove, sailing on his merchant ship called John Say. I want you know that too, sir. But he became president. He became Liberia's second president from a merchant to a president. So you see, when we are discussing, we try to understand that.
Mr. Nepe, I want to ask Mr. Cassell one question.
Go ahead,
please.
I'm hoping that he can be upfront with it. Mr. Cassell, you said you worked with the government paper at the time.
Yeah.
And you've been very blunt about what you wrote.
Okay.
And then after, when you try to hold your feet to the fire, you bring in Taylor, Newport, and other people. So you're trying to refine what you're saying. If we went back to look at some of your papers that you serve at, will we see some of the things you're telling us, some of your writing, would it be as vicious? Because you've been very, very tough on the guys. Would it be as vicious as you are saying it today, or would it be something of maybe cutting the guys some slack because they were young, as you claim, they were young and they needed to get into the fight? Because
I mean vicious. No. Putting vicious on the government for whom he was writing because they made some missteps. Was he ever vicious on them?
On the young progressives now, where we see that he was that vicious with them in his writing because he served with the government. Now he tell you now they were too young, they were not prepared to take over. Why did what it did? So I'm saying,
Mr. Wright, what the man is telling you here tonight on your show, that's exactly why he was writing.
Okay, I want to hear to say that because I'm going to look. I'm going to look at the papers.
So you were using the pen to indict those gentlemen.
Mr. Depe, that's the word.
Okay.
He was indicting them.
No, that question need to go to Veteran Smith.
I will ask a question.
Yeah, Mr. Kasakami.
Ask a question.
Go ahead.
I was a news writer. In the newspaper hierarchy, people that provide opinion, those are the editors. Those are the commentators. I was a news writer. Breaking story, I will write the story. Okay? And when you write, you don't infuse your opinion when you write a news story.
Gotcha.
Okay? Right.
So you never wrote out there?
Do you have any of those articles you wrote? Can you share one with us?
Almost 50 years ago.
Oh yes.
I left Liberia. Let me tell you, I left Liberia. I went to England to school, right? After school, I worked for a newspaper in England as well. Now, I got some of the newspapers here from England, but I don't have any.
You didn't write about Liberia while you were serving in England?
Liberia. No. We were writing about.
You were in England. You didn't write about Liberia.
We were writing about the struggle of Black people in England.
When were you in England?
In the 80s.
In the 80s.
Yeah.
Where were you during the war?
During what war? The Liberian Civil War?
Civil War, yes.
No, I left Liberia in 1982.
Okay. Where were you during the Civil War? I want to see any of the articles you wrote during the Civil War.
I just told you I left Liberia in 1982.
You don't have to be in Liberia to write about the Civil War. This is country that you were born in. If that is the country that's supposed to be, that must be near and dear to your heart.
Everybody.
And you didn't care because they killed Toba, they killed these people. You didn't care about Liberia because of the 1980 coup.
Let me just say something, okay? I was one of Charles Taylor, because I wrote a few articles.
Hold on. Mr. Nip.
So let me finish. Let me finish.
Okay.
So Mr. Bila is back with us. So yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Bila will have a man.
I always said it that I was against the Civil War. I against Charles Taylor because I know the whole thing was just a personal, vindictive thing that he brought a few people together and started that war. So I've always been against Taylor. Even when I was in Liberia writing, Charles Taylor threatened to put me in jail because I did an interview with what's his name, George Bullitt, who was Minister of Education, about the what was the Charles Taylor at that time was at the GSA, and Bullitt called.
Mr. Cassano, I beg to differ. You are a journalist. You are here. Charles Taylor brought war. Now, Charles Taylor, you say you could not agree with. He brought war. You are a journalist. Your weapon is your pen. How many articles you wrote during the war? And let us see some of those articles.
I think you want to hold me to an impossible standard. And
the man said he didn't write on Liberia.
Why he did not write? Let him tell why he.
No, he had a right to choose why he wanted to write.
You can differ, but you're
a journalist.
You can differ, but you must make sense in the process. Okay?
That's too strong, Mr. Cassell.
I am making
Mr. Cassell, that's too strong.
Mr. Wright, you are dodging every question. You are dodging every question.
Mr. Wright.
Okay, hold on. I got this, guy. I got this.
Mr. Wright, you have to hold a conversation. Mr. Wright.
Mr. Wright, I beg you. I'm
Mr.
meeting everybody for a reason.
Mr. Cassell was too strong. Okay, I understand.
I'm muting everybody for a reason because I want to say this. This show is as open and as very liberal as any show here. But we do it in a spirit of professionalism. I know sometimes, we say something or get on another other panelist scheme. But please, let's be very, very, very civil. Mr. Cassell, please, we are all here to make sense. Nothing we say here is nonsensical. Everything we say here is sensible. Mr. Newell, I want to apologize for that. Please, guys, I beg you, let's just keep it civil. Let's get back to the conversation. Thank you.
No, I mean,
everybody can unmute yourself.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. That was very timely and very mature.
Thank you very much. But nobody can get under my skin. But all these people that have been passing this group, that group, I know how to deal with them. The man calls himself a journalist. Throughout the whole Civil War, he didn't write a single sentence or let alone a paragraph. And he here, trying to say, I have my choice to do this and do that. And yesterday,
you know the funny thing about it though. Every time
Bacchus, people like Sawyer, people like Drew Mason, Deacon Collar, people like Lawrence Kwawon, Dr. Lawrence Kwawon Tayo, these people were not qualified. But all the Americans that came from here without any experience, they immediately employed them. And yeah, a man who say he come from, I know, a circle or where, overlooking that and passing to be a Congo man. On my nerves. Thank you.
Mr. Wright, did you?
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Did you miss the fact when I said that somebody noise in the?
Yeah. 1 second.
Let me mute myself too.
Yeah. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Mr. Wright, did you miss the fact when I said it that the generation now in the United States, the more qualified than the older generation that just came with degrees and went straight to Liberia to work, and they had no sort of expertise, there was no foundational or institutional knowledge? You missed that part? Because I made it simple.
We heard that.
Pardon me?
I think we heard that.
Yeah. But he's saying that I picked, say, Congo people, should go in without any institutional knowledge, and the country people, they're the one that are picking on. No. What I'm picking on is the collapse, the failure of Liberia. Look where we are now. 300 miles of beach. West Africa's largest virgin forest. Flora and fauna to die for. But we still, soon we open our mouth, it's about World Bank. It's about the IFC giving us loans. We also supposed to be ashamed of that. And that collapse came from it started in 79. That's why you need to be ashamed.
I beg to differ.
All you're thinking about are politics. Oh, he said, my sacred cow, he attacked my sacred cow, so I gotta come back to him. Shame on you. Look at your country. Go to your country. I'm there every year. It's all get together and say, look, how can we fix this thing? There are things we need to do. But we're more about, let me bring the pricing down. The Bacchus Matthews and those people, they didn't inspire anybody. They inspired Liberians to be consumers and now producers. And I always say back that, he attacked people, that he attacked this. Shame on you. Go ahead. I got two blocks to talk like yo.
Can I come in?
Okay. Was that Mr. Bila?
Yeah.
Mr. Nippy. Okay.
What are they doing? Creating
who they cannot produce?
My gentle Mr.
To be producer.
Hold on now, Mr. Nebo.
Mr. Nebo, my time. My distinguished Joe Casa.
I'll show you people tomorrow evening, please.
My distinguished Joe Casa. We all know.
Call me Mr. Casa.
Sir.
Okay, Mr. Casa.
Yeah.
We all know what is happening on the ground. We are not strange. We are not strange. And you cannot attribute the fault of today to those people who brought about multi-party democracy. You cannot say that.
You think democracy is an Africa problem? Huh? Do you think democracy is Africa problem?
What do you mean?
You're wrong.
What do you mean? So then we must go back and practice communism.
You got 25 parties in Liberia. Where are we? Man, I beg you, man. Don't let me start it. Please.
No, but it look like you being a journalist to ask questions. When they ask you a question, then you flare up.
I'm a businessman now. I'm not a journalist 50 years ago.
But you learn the ropes.
You and myself, but he
is a propagandist for the American Liberians.
Mr. Casa, I think what we all need to do here is to harness our collective efforts.
No have problem against the problem with the American Liberian.
appointed 5 parties.
No, I have a problem with them, but
We are on the same ship.
on their behalf.
We are on the same ship.
He condemned the progressives and promoting people that tumble and what have you here. And
I was on the floor, Mr. Noble. Just give me a few seconds.
it's not being propaganda, for the American.
Mr. Noble gave the man chance.
Okay, I will give you a chance, but you ask a question. I will answer your question.
No, I didn't ask question.
You let your man.
Wait now, but Mr. Castle, you finished them at time.
Will come for you.
You are getting annoyed, Mr. Castle. You have to be calm and reasonable.
Your man Nubo, not Casara Nubo.
Oh, Mr. Nubo.
That Nubo talking.
Leave Mr. Castle alone.
That Mr. Bilano interrupting me.
Okay, let me come in now.
I didn't say anything.
Mr. Bila just come in. He has not said a word. Mr. Castle, let me put it in a little African parlance again, so that we can all understand.
We are going to have a redo of this panel.
We have a home. We have a home.
I need to bring him more often.
Coming, sir. Our anthem says, with hearts and hands, our country cause defended. We meet the foe with valor unpretended. And I want to, by extension, say, then and only then shall this home of glorious liberty be ours. We are not fighting each other here. The question is not about democracy. The question is about how you and I, Mr. Bila, and all of us can work in concert to move ourselves from where we are and leave the baton of governance with the little children. I think this is what we should be doing instead of getting annoyed on the show. Mind you, there are people listening to us. So we have to implore a high spirit of understanding. We must implore a high spirit of understanding, because when we disagree, there is a conversion of ideas that bring us to the point where we can agree. You see, and not to be annoyed. Please don't be annoyed. Please don't be annoyed. Liberia is your home. It is our home, and we also will be working in tandem to see how we can gravitate to correct the wrong and bring the right in, and then move the country forward. I think this is the objective of this show.
Thank you.
Good. You see, now you made us so.
Well, let me say this. Maya died. Mr. Nubo, 1 second, sir.
Okay.
I'm just saying, maybe you guys think you shut up, but the viewers see you guys are doing a good job. I just want to say that. Go ahead.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yep.
Can I come in?
Maybe after Mr. Cassell, you bring.
Let me come in.
Dr. Bila that ran away for the past 1 hour.
No, I didn't run. I didn't run away. I think Mr. Ray understood my story. I went out of unit.
Sorry, I don't know that. Okay.
I went out of unit. I wrote that Mr. White and Mr. Ray, and then he sent me the unit.
Sorry. No, I did that. But Mr. Wright, I think Mr. Cassette should respond, and then we'll go to our honorable historian.
No, let Mr. Bida.
Yeah?
No, Mr. Bida has not spoken for the last 30 minutes or so.
Okay, the co-host is the one who controls this here. I'm just a truck driver. What I want to put in the truck driver.
Okay, so
Mr. Bila comes in. I'm coming around. Mr. Bila come in.
Oh,
Okay, thank you.
Let Mr. Bila come
Okay,
in, then we'll come back to you.
okay, thank you. Leaving the oligarchy that led this country for 137 years at that time, the progressive had the opportunity because even the speech that was read by Samuel Kanyando, Master Sergeant Samuel Kanyando, was written by the progressive. And then when you monitor, you saw the video, you see Dr. Bullet trying to say some things that were reading this particular thing. So they had an opportunity, and the coup makers at the time put the trust into the progressive, so they have the time to really straighten things as the way they wanted it. Michael Matthew became foreign minister, and H. Brahma formula at education. We have that Tupana Tibuta explaining. In fact, all of the job was shared to them and they were placed into the military. It was the time for them to bring the good news. They didn't bring the good news. Everything ended into conflict. The very people that were old, that they could make part of the oligarchy that we said was not doing the right thing. We have to bring them back because all of the members of the intelligentsia, the intellectual class, those who we depend on, we brought them and they let us down. I know much about the Doe government, and there are a lot of things that took place there. I know. So what happened? The military government at the time decided. I remember when Doe came to Israel, he said something. In fact, there was an agreement that why they can the Doe wanted to go back in the barrio and to have one person, and the suggestion was Ba and Bala to have taken over. And again, that they're very progressive. All of them were eyeing at that particular position. And Doe made a statement in Zredru at the city hall, and it was due to that. He said that, have you ever seen somebody climb on the palm tree and cut the palm and somebody else get up and take the palm and take it home? And at the city hall that day, we said no. We said no. So we came into power and we were not together. We were not together. We struggled for this power, and we were not together. Even up to now, we are not together. You can see it.
I beg today for Mr. Bila.
And we are not together. So we had the opportunity, and we abused the opportunity, and things went wrong. Are we better today? That's the question. Are we better today?
We are not.
So we had the opportunity, and we abused the opportunity. Okay. It is not that I'm supporting the oligarchy. So if the oligarchy was wrong, we would have done it better. So that today we would have been somewhere that at the promised land. But what happened? We went into a nasty civil war. A lot of things. Even all of the coup makers died in the process. There were counter coup, the situation of Podia, the situation of Princeton Water, the situation of all of them died in the process. And then we went and locked ahead. Why didn't we all do the right thing at the time?
Mr. Bila? Okay. Mr. Bila, let me just speak to Mr. Wright on 30 seconds. Mr. Wright.
Thank you.
Mr. Wright? Mr. Wright.
Yes,
yeah, my phone is dying, so I want to just say thank you to my phone dying at all 4%. So I want to say thank you to Mr. Wright. I mean now Mr. Bila and my distinguished Mr. Kassa. Both of you are distinguished before somebody jam me. So yeah, I have captured everything about this show. Tomorrow when we come on tomorrow, then I will do the traditional side. I'll do the transitional side. So, Mr. Nubo, I beg to just take leave of all of you. Okay. And gentlemen, it has been a good show. Very passionate indeed. And I want to thank you all so much. So I salute you, Mr. Kassa. I salute you, Mr. Bila, and the panelists. Bye for now.
Okay. We hope
thank you, Mr. Nepe.
Tomorrow.
I will come.
Yeah. Okay. I want to differ with Mr. Bila. the progressive movement. I, George Numbo, I was part of PAR, I was part of Moja. After the coup, Bole and Bacchus, they hold Weir to power, closer to power. And the Tipote group, they hold Wasen to Moja. That's what brought the confusion. When they arrested Wasen, Tipote was not in the country. And that's the minister, no, they say, no, that's a name they did not disclose. But Tipote was not in Liberia. And all the people, that were closer to Wasen. And maybe, I can make it short. I was expelled from Tubman College of Technology when Tobo was president. We met with Tobo. Tobo said, you people were indoctrinated by Moja and PAR. And after the coup, we met with Wasen. Wasen made sure that we went back to Tubman College of Technology. So it was the rift between the progressive that spoiled the whole revolution. Because Wasen was part of the reacquisition committee. All the fabulous buildings the Congo people built. Mr. Kasser relatives, all them, they built. Wasen was responsible for that. And that's why they killed Wasen, they killed Nelson Toll and other people. And even the Nelson Toll issue, that's why Grand Gate have never come to operate on a new page before. It brought some animals within Grand Gate County. I'm telling you what I know. I'm not a historian, but I know all these details here. So we have to think about it before we go and condemn people like Akos, people like Tipote. Where Tipote had a farm, that was in Grand Gate County. The Suzuku was in Grand Gate County. And now we say the man he had experience, he came from America, and he was just a troublemaker, a young man, he left from the right. And all the Congo people that left from America here, that left from Europe, that have bachelor degree, we're talking about people that were PhD, bachelor degree, they got top positions.
Well, how you default with me now? How you default with me? What you saying? It was not I that said it.
Oh no, well, I'm differing with you, and I'm bringing other things on board because I felt that you ran away because in your absence, Honorable Kasser made several statements. And I'm responding to those statements. The first time I met Tipote at the Suzuku farm in Grand Gate County.
So why you continue to say I ran away when I told you that I went out of unit?
You told me, what
I went out of unit and Archie Red sent me $10.
You told me what happened. You told me
I run away from who?
After the show, I will get in contact with you. What are you here?
But you still using the same word that I ran away, and then I didn't run away. I went out of unit. I went out of unit and was Archie Red. We said $10.
Sorry.
The only person that ran away that Nippy.
No, Nippy say So that's why I had to say, Well, Mr. Bilano, welcome back. And Honorable Archie writes in, we want to repeat this show. I don't know when he wants to repeat it.
Yeah, we're going to have to do a redo.
Redo.
We're going to have to
do a redo, and during that redo, I will explain how the Congo people burn all the books at Cottonton and Epiphany Hall in Maryland County. The gravel books.
But you had thought man who said he was good man.
No.
You had thought man who said he was good man. You used to tell Lapa with Kofu.
Tuckman was not a grown man. When he
and you gravel people, the gravel people sang a lot of music about Todman, and then they supported Todman a lot. The people who say so, say so.
No.
So you people mislead us.
All the Southeasterners. And I want to say,
my people who say so, say so.
Okay. When the Episcopal Church decided to move Cottonton to Banga, Bon County, or Swakoko, Bon County, the bishop contacted Tuckman for his permission.
All right, are we? I think we drifted away from the data.
In the future, we'll learn about them. So
yeah, let's keep it on April 14 today.
I rest my story.
So when you default with me, you have to be very direct on. Maybe I said something you default. Okay. But everything that you said just now did not come from me. Okay. I am not praising the American Liberian regime. Okay. I knew what happened in history. I knew about the 1951 war when they were ruled away, 1915 war against the Kru people. I learned a lot of things at the suppression against the native people. A lot of things took place I know in history.
Yes.
What I am saying, we had the opportunity. We have taken over the country in 1980, April 12, 1980. What did we do? We went against each other. And then that we went a serious loggerhead. And nearly all of the coup makers were in name later. You just spoke of Thomas Wessing. You spoke about Nelson B. Too. All these things. So this is why Dr. Wagonyon wrote a book called The Revolution, A Fiasco Revolution. And then when you read the book of Charles Hubbard, not Charles Hubbard, but J. Gus Lebanon, the dissolution of privilege and evolution of privilege. So we had the opportunity. I am saying that we had the opportunity. We have used the opportunity, and that's true. Look at where we are today. Are we better? No. Thank you.
Thank you. We are not better.
I'll bring in Mr. Cassell. Mr. Cassell?
No, as I said before, advocacy and social activism has its place. Okay? You know, those guys, they open our eyes to a lot of things. And I think I mentioned the Matilda Newport Day, the hot tax and all that. Yeah. They open our eyes. Okay? But after you've done all that, then what's next? What's the next step? And they just couldn't answer that bell. They couldn't answer it. Today, as I stand here, 90% of our economy is in foreign hands. 90%. Liberians only control probably anywhere between 10 or maybe 15% of their own economy. So that tells 5%. You. Say that again?
5%.
Yeah, so that tells you it was a dramatic failure. Okay? Then Mr. Nippy was talking about, where they brought democracy. Okay, that's fine. You got 25 parties in Liberia. What sort of development have emerged from those 25 parties. We got the largest virgin forest in West Africa. I mentioned that before. The largest virgin forest in West Africa. We got gold, diamond, you name it. Take a look at other countries like Singapore. Singapore doesn't have one mineral resource. But what they have is what they call a knowledge economy. And we can't keep coming back, democracy. No, sometimes democracy stands in the way. That's why the countries, countries of the South, the Great South, like Singapore, like I can throw Rwanda in there. They're doing very well with our democracy. Because sometimes democracy, it has that, like I said before, it has a very bombastic effect. Okay, and so that's the Liberian situation. If we have to think about what's next. Okay, we overthrew, this rule that have been around for 100+ years, but we keep making these missteps. How do we, we still look like we still having the format is not there, and we don't know how to get there. I mean, I live in Liberia, I live in England, I travel a lot, I go to the Caribbean, I go to other places to visit. And then when I go to Liberia, I just shake my head. Simple ideas.
I beg to differ.
What is that to differ? Go ahead.
Okay. You see, they say Rome was not built on overnight. When
that 1 million year we use it.
Kwame Nkrumah was building the Volta Dam, and how do you call him? From Zambia was building the dam.
Kenneth Kaunda.
And when they were building the Aswan Dam in Egypt, and Kwame Nkrumah was building Kumasi Tech.
Okay.
Chapman was buying Tiger generators for Liberia.
Tubman building Marcoffee.
No. Marcoffee is you go to Zambia, you go to Lusaka, they take you to that dam. By yourself, you will get lost. I went there. They took me there. It's like a whole town under a mountain. But Marcoffee, how many people we have in Monrovia? Maybe 200,000 people. It cannot serve Monrovia. And it cannot serve Monrovia today. It cannot serve the nation. Those people in Zambia providing electricity to Zambia and other countries. That's what I'm talking about. The dam in Ghana providing electricity from Ghana and to Togo and other countries.
You say you back to
let me learn. The electrical engineers in Ghana, most of them are from that Kwame Nkrumah Institute of Technology. And we are not concentrating on those things. And now we trying every day. I listen to some Liberian page and they say, "Oh, we want STEM education." But in the 50s, Kwame Nkrumah was thinking about STEM education. Chapman had no advisor to advise him, and his advisor had no ideas. So you cannot blame the so-called progressive on these things here. It started from way back. If your name was Nubo, Nubo, you will not be qualified for scholarship to go abroad. So these are the things that happen. I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
nobody can come here and defend these things here.
Yes, sir.
These
So how these people when they brought to land the Bacchus Mafia and others?
I call them criminal acts.
Yes, sir, Nubo.
Yeah, I don't know which of you I should answer now.
Who gave them scholarship to go?
Government.
Whose government? The Matthew. That's
People
what
No, I'm talking about. No, I mean, let's say the progressive. The progressive did what? They give scholarship to a lot of people. I know Dr. Josh Kier. I know Dr. Gompu. And several of them that came in this country here. You think how they came? I know Nyakos is there. Those people came on scholarship from all the people that went to, even Dubai Nyan, the scientists that went to Europe. How they call him? The zoo man that went to Europe. That's the progressive scholarship that they connected to how they call it.
But the Dubai you are calling, the rest of the people you're calling after the coup. These people are nowhere around again. We took over. The progressive took over that time. They were in government.
That is after the coup.
Dubai went to Bishop Judy Ha in the 12th grade.
Okay.
And then he left and went to Moravian College.
These people came on the efforts or the road paved by the progressive. I'm telling you.
But Todman produced the first PhD, Jean-Pierre Michel on Riverside. Todman produced the first mining engineer, Arthur Sherman. He produced the first economist, Charles Sherman. There were a lot of scholarship programs for Todman. Both natives and American Liberia went on the scholarship.
Name that again.
Even Flamma Sherman, who from Bassa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number two.
Rural Roberts, Tobak Nanti Pote.
He was Rural Roberts.
Tangaba Jangaba.
You are not Numbo.
Tangaba Jangaba.
You are not Sien. You are not Nyema. You are not Toba.
That Tipota name, Toba Nanti Pote.
Yeah, no, you are Roberts. Roberts.
Tibote father was a Roberts. Methodist.
Yeah, Roberts. Yeah, Roberts' brother. Tibote, yeah.
Tipote was very close to William V.S. Tuckman. Tipote had breakfast with Tuckman. I'm telling you what I know.
And you said something about Sawyer. Amos Sawyer is an American Liberian. Amos Sawyer is an American Liberian. He's not from Sierra Leone. Who is from Sierra Leone is Joshua Sawyer, who was married to Emma Carl Lewis. So you people, Liberian people, get it mixed up. Sawyer parent came from the United States and settled in Maryland. Later moved to Sino. Go and do the history. Most people felt that Bacchus Matthew was a Bassa man. Bacchus Matthew is the great grandson of James S. Payne. Go and do the research.
I said that when you were out of here. Sawyer parents from how do you call it?
The United States.
No. Sierra Leone. Sawyer.
It was different Sawyer, and the Sawyer is spelled different way.
No. Sawyer parents from Sino crew parents, and Sawyer went to Cape Town High School. Sawyer and my uncle John Russell.
Amos Sawyer is an American Liberian. Please do your research. He's an American Liberian. The Sawyer you are talking about was Joshua Sawyer, married to Emma Carl Lewis.
No.
And people got it wrong. They got it wrong. wrong history, wrong information.
No, but even George Bowley was given a full scholarship by President Tauber. He got his
Yeah.
George Bowley.
No,
when Tauber went to St. Philomena and George Bowley went to St. Philomena, later he went to Rick's Institute.
All on scholarship, government scholarship.
And they're all on scholarship during the Tauber administration.
Anyway.
So there are a lot of natives who also benefited from American Liberia.
We have to have this show another time.
The veteran have a question, man.
No, veteran, you mute yourself because when you put your you chakra the whole show.
And some of these people you call Congo people American Liberian, they are now American Liberian like Andrew Andrews. Andrew Andrews is a pure Grebo man from River G, mother Grebo, part of Grebo. Someone like Albert T. White. Someone, these people are just civilized people.
No. Don't put words in my mouth, though. I didn't call Andrew name here. I didn't call Albert T. White.
Okay, I want to jump in.
They benefited from the American Liberian scholarship.
I want to come in, please. I've been listening. Let me come in.
To put names in my mouth.
Let me come in, please.
I did not call.
Mr. Bila, you said, because all along, I think majority of us, I think I can take the liberty to speak for majority of us. We are of the belief that Mr. Sawyer is an indigenous. I mean, everybody talk about Sawyer, never put him in a bracket that you just put him into.
Just Google it, and tomorrow you come, you tell me.
Okay.
It's the brother of Joe. It's the brother of Joe Sawyer. A parent came from the United States and settled in Maryland before moving to the Sawyer you are talking about, who lived in Sierra Leone that worked with the FDA. I mean, worked with the forestry program in Sierra Leone was Joshua Sawyer, and the Sawyer is spread different way. Please do not research. Google it. You come back tomorrow. You tell me what I'm saying.
I will. I can guarantee you that.
Mr. Bila is right. He hit right on the head. Yeah.
Even Bagger Matthews, his great grandfather is Spain. That's the president, Jim S. Spain.
I said that.
Jim S. Spain, great grandson, and his mother from Sino. She's also a Congo woman.
Okay, you know when they talk about that famous Monrovia mayor election between Mr. Sawyer and Mr. Horton, Chuchu, and they always try to put Chuchu in the American Liberian block, and then Mr. Sawyer in the indigenous block. So I'm like, oh, okay, you know.
That was the scan. That was the scan to convince the Liberian people that these people were all native people. Yeah.
Okay.
And some of these people that were even Togolese, they were not even American Liberian, like the Gerebekus, the Ireland, the Jose Atoka, all of those people. They were Popo people that came in, the Olympia people that came in.
Okay, so now Mr. Bila,
Michelle Atoka, father, yeah.
How do we tie all of this in? How do we tie all of this into this day? How does everything that we have talked about here, some very new to me, some even though known, but at least giving some clarity even more. How can we tie all of that into the significance of today? And what can we learn to our listeners, and what can we say to them going forward?
This is why the TRC is saying that we should rewrite our history. Because some of the things I said in Liberian history is just that there's a difference between literature and history. Because in literature, we have fiction and non-fiction. Let me talk about Matilda Nipo. Matilda Nipo was a teacher. She liked the piano. Matilda Nipo was a part of the 7 ladies that make the flag. Matilda Nipo died in 1837. The flag was made in 1847. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Yeah, I tell you. Can you imagine? So this is why the TRC suggested that we should rewrite our history. But people condemned the TRC recommendation in totality, which was wrong. So it would have said, okay, we don't want the war crime code, or we don't want this. the one that you don't want. But a lot of good things that the TRC proposed. We must have a right history, because according to Aristotle, he said, history is the account of the unchanging past. Turbo can never change. You were willing Arrow Turbo. After 20 years, we say David Arrow Turbo. No, it's not history. See?
True. Okay. Mr. Cassell?
Yeah, as I said before, we got the democracy. Nobody can say Liberia don't have democracy. We've got it. So now what we need to do is to brainstorm about how we intend to, take our country to the next level. In a country where you have 25 political parties and everybody want to be president, and rendering the economy to foreigners. Once again, Liberians would really love the country, the patriotic Liberians. We need to come together and brainstorm. How do we build institutions? How do we build the infrastructure so the generation that coming behind us can succeed? But as it is going right now, I mean, we're just going from one failure to the other, one failure to the other, one failure to the other.
Because the Western world, they now use democracy to come to that level, and they try to impose something that we are not accustomed to. So it's giving us a problem. Look at Touré in Burkina Faso. Look at Paul Kagame.
There you go.
Look at other people that are making progress.
Mr. Bila, please preach it. Tell them. Our problem.
Now, Mr. Bila, when a communist
the United States, they use democracy to come to that level. They took slaves from here. They took slaves to work for them in the United States.
There you go.
You see, they never use democracy. Even up to now, they are not even using democracy. Who make them the war police? Where they try that imperialism. Nkrumah talk about it to impose your own way on people. It's exploiting people. So look at Traoré has set it up, and we must learn from Traoré. See what the massive development that is taking place. Let the other group that are from the B Mountains look at these few days. The kind of minerals that they took, and we are suffering here.
I agree with you.
These
are what we call communism or socialism in Liberia.
I'm sorry, Mr. Cassell, you saying something?
Because the people contaminated.
Mr. Nuba, I will come to you. Let Mr. Cassell.
I would give Mr. Bila my time because everything he's saying is just spot on. Everything he's saying, that's why I was about to say it, but he captured it even better than me. Go ahead, Mr. Bila.
So you see, they only talk about democracy. Where there's no pure democracy. They use the word democracy to suppress or to control us, to encave us. There's nothing at all that democracy. It is only democracy if they are pulling up our nose.
Yeah.
And then no, it is not democracy. Look at Yoweri Museveni. Look at Paul Biya.
Right.
Under the protection of France. They just read near us here in Ivory Coast, somebody who went and changed the constitution.
Yeah.
See, that democracy.
Look,
it's not going to work.
Philippe Ofueboye. Look at those people.
Nana Philippe Ofueboye. Yeah.
Those
they work in the French Parliament, and then become president, prime minister under the RDA.
Those were the people who were used to undermine people like Kwame Nkrumah.
Yeah. Even Tottenham, they formed the Monrovia group. Even Wale Mu himself was part of it. Yeah. So Nkrumah, Sekou Touré, that of David Dako of Central Africa supported the Casablanca group. And Nkrumah told us, Nkrumah said it. He said that.
Peter, you and myself on the same page.
Yeah. So we all agree with Mr. Bila.
Why should we have small countries like Liberia and Sierra Leone? Why can't all emerge? to improve Africa a greater. Even if you had divided Africa into 4,
See how they
look at
kill.
look at continental America.
See how
Look
they
at
kill
America.
Patrick Lumumba.
Yeah. Zaire.
Yes.
How they killed David Dako and brought in a puppet they call J.B. Bukasa.
Right.
Even the Secretary General of the OU at the time, Dama Hajo, there was a foul play.
Yes.
There was a guy they call Eduardo Modaling from the Mozambique,
Yes.
who they used the car bomb who were married to an American lady and killed him. Look at Samora Machel. Look at this guy, Amaka Cabral and Luis Cabral.
Monaline, or they kill him through or letter bomb.
Letter bomb, yeah.
Yes.
Gentlemen, I want us to climax the show in the last 20 minutes that we have.
Tomorrow.
By looking at some videos from today's student protest and what these videos conjure up in your mind as we look back on April 1979. So allow me to roll the video.
What I can deduce is that this government is afraid of protests, and they initiated protests during the administration of George Weah. We saw the June 7th, there were a lot of protests, and nothing have happened like that. Like what is happening today, where they have to strip women naked, or when it comes to the issue of Guinea, they say they want to be diplomatic. But when it comes to suppress your own people, beat up your own people, you don't want to be democratic.
He's pleading for mercy. He's pleading for mercy. He's pleading for mercy. He's pleading for mercy. Where just a student of the University of Liberia from the Student Unification Party. He's pleading for mercy. Pleading here. At the intersection of bypass.
He hit on the guy here. That thing was too.
He's pleading for mercy. Pleading for mercy. He's pleading for mercy.
Okay, so I wrote another one and then I'll come back for us to play.
He's pleading for mercy. Where just a student of the University of Liberia from the Student Unification Party.
What about this one with a girl?
He's pleading for mercy.
She can't breathe.
Been here at the main intersection of bypass. He's pleading for mercy. 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 Just a student of the University of Liberia from the
I have a
Straight
question.
to Facebook and play. Yeah, so let's close up on that video. What's your question, Mr. Nova?
My question is, what was going on? Because when I started watching the video today, the students were on their campus. And then they said the police were around, they started walking towards the police. And then I couldn't hear any audio. And there I turned or they show off. So what were they demonstrating or for
April 14, or were they demonstrating for something else? That's the understanding I want to know.
But they did not monitor us. They were talking about justice and talking about the hardship in the country.
Yeah.
That's what they were talking about.
But we also got to realize that some of those protests are politically inspired. They're not organic, not even impulsive. But, and the government has to be careful. They want to tamp down on dysfunction and chaos within society, but, there have to be a pretty good balance between the two, giving the people their rights, and as well ensuring that their rights don't infringe on others, their rights don't evolve into complete chaos. So I don't know the whole story of that video, to be honest with you, that you just played, but that's just a generic right post I'm making with regards to what you just the video you showed.
Yeah, but let Mr. Wright explain what happened.
Here's what I can say. So, okay, Mr. Nippy is back. So you already.
I just want to jump in quickly.
Ran away, you not come back?
Yeah, I came back. When I work as the political officer, I'll do my research very well. So whenever I went to the State Department, I presented Liberia's story well and struck a balance. The question of Tipote not learning anything having any qualities that landed him to the job of Minister of Economic Affairs. I've done a quick research, and it states. I sent you a text message just now. Prior to Dr. Tipote joining the PRC's government, he worked in the U.S. government's anti-poverty program, playing the advisory role, and served as advisor to the Poverty Alleviation Program under the Office of the Economic Opportunity Department of the U.S. Presidency. They call that office OED, Office of Economic Development. And I must angle on the last note. He was a Harvard University and UN Special Fund Fellow in Economic Development. So I just wanted to bring home the point that indeed Dr. Towana Tipote had the requisite background, competence, and academic solidification that landed him in the office of Minister of Planning and Economic Affairs.
Tipote are your sacred cow.
No, it's not a secret car. I'm intelligently refuting what you said, that all of these luminaries, political luminaries, had no solid background. The likes of Tipote are coming, sir. Let's be gentle here. Let's be gentle.
Have you ever heard of Mohammed Yunus?
About what?
Have you heard of a man called Mohammed Yunus?
I've heard about Towana Tipote.
Okay.
Yunus will be a Lebanese man.
No, Mohammed Yunus is a Bangladeshi. Now, why I brought his name out?
But let me learn first now.
Dr. Yunus put at the same age, they graduated the same year. That man has transformed the world with this whole concept of microfinancing. What has Tipote brought to Liberia that we can put our hand on?
No, you said he was not qualified.
You're implicating the man in a political.
You say he was not qualified.
You were saying cool. Tipote was implicated.
And I just wanted to refute that point that indeed he had the requisite qualification.
He has
not only just landing himself in the PhD classroom and running away to come to Liberia for a job.
His impact has been net negative.
No,
Don't come
it has been positive in Africa. I could give you a laundry listing of what he did, but I just thought to come home with those few points.
Okay,
He
brother.
cannot be a Harvard fellow. He cannot work with the U.S. government in the presidency. He cannot work with the African Development Bank.
That will impress you. He has had a net negative impact on Liberia.
No, I think this is border on hatred.
Yes, that's
It's border on hatred.
that's
Net
animosity.
negative impact on Liberia.
No, it's border on hatred.
He like I said, activism is fine.
Mr.
We created a
Mr.
culture of
Co-host,
activism. We know our history. He conscientized us.
Mr.
But show us
Co-host, can you come let's conclude this?
it's a plus positive that he brought to Liberia. Show me. Don't come tell me.
If they are giving people the opportunity, Liberia would have been better
Okay,
off than
gentlemen,
it
in the
is.
last 10 minutes, again, we got to close up. I beg you.
Let's go to the protest. Let's go to the protest.
Okay.
So I'm drawing back. I made my point. Gentlemen, good night.
No, please don't go. Let's go to
Mr.
the
Kasa, good night.
Don't go, Mr. Nippy. Don't go.
And then Mr. Nippy woke up from his sleep and came.
Mr. Nippy, he came back and you started right away. We're closing up on the protest.
Yeah, you were to explain this.
No, I was trying to do some more something. That's why in the background. I will hate for somebody to talk about Mr. Kasa. And immediately you speak so condescendingly about Mr. Kasa, I will go back and do a quick research about Mr. Kasa's achievement. And then I will come and say, no. He was a polished gentleman. Now Mr. Kasa is a businessman. And so you cannot talk about Mr. Kasa's character like the way you did.
We will have a redo, gentlemen. We'll have a redo. Let's close up on the protest. I beg you.
That's why he thought. That's why he behaving like that.
Let's discuss the protest. Let's discuss the protest.
Oh,
No, the time will over. We can't discuss protest, man.
I beg you, my people. I beg you.
We gotta go.
Hey, y'all won. We can do this tomorrow. We can come back with a scene.
Let's close with a protest.
Let's close with a protest. I beg. So I want to go to
and discuss it tomorrow.
Yes.
Tell me or tell us why they had a protest, and then tomorrow we can make it part one.
Yes. Well, Mr. Bila will explain. Mr. Bila captured it correctly. The protest. What I heard.
Bila headed the protest or what?
No, Mr. Bila did not head the protest. Mr. Bila followed the protest just as I did. And I am about to say that the student protests will border on economic hardship, lack of opportunity.
Mr. Red, play the audio.
No, we don't have time to play the audio. I played the audio already. I played the audio.
Do audio time.
Yes.
You just let them waste time with people. That's all. You want to play audio and all that kind of stuff.
You can play games now.
Mr. Fred, very good at that. Very good at that. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
That was what the protests are border on. And we can come back tomorrow and do a deep dive into it. But all I will ask now is the last 8 minutes we all gave our analysis on the protest, please. Just on the protest, and we're going to close on it. That close.
But how we give our analysis when we know why the protests were going on?
We just told you about the protest.
You just said it.
Let Mr. Bila explain, and then we go.
No, there was too much of time. It's just
the same thing that Archie explained. So we just continue to sing that national anthem.
Yeah. It's 12:53.
Let's do this.
Let me come in right away. Let me take my leave.
Yeah, so Mr. Nippes, you start with us, please.
Let me take my leave.
Mr. Nippes just woke up so you have more energy.
No, now that my phone is dying. In a similar fashion as we had in 1979, it pays much for government to understand. When the baby is crying in the bedroom, that something is wrong with that child. When in a neighborhood people are crying, it has nothing to do with only being deaths in the family, but something else will have transpired. The protest of today, I think the children are dissatisfied, and I want to annex that and make Putu an appendage to some of the reason. We have Putu Mountain now. The people are trying to tap into it. 25 years, and in 5053, we have all been so, and all of these things have not had a positive impact on the population. And who's feeling these things here? The pinch is being felt by our students' population. And I will hope in the future when the students go out there, police don't march and start shooting them. That what brought the April 14, when Jassy and other students died. The students of the University of Liberia were in solidarity with one of their schoolmates, and so they and high school people came out. So we hope that the government will take this thing seriously and don't just pull police out, because police can protect them. Why they are doing that? Let them give them ban. They want to march from Orange Grove to the city. Let them march. It's their constitutional right. Once they don't go out of the way, give them the protection. Let them, because there's something inside why they are doing these things here. And I want to stop right there and say thank you to Mr. Kiasa and Mr. Bila and Nuwo, to now me and you again. I beg to leave you.
Yeah, I give my marches tonight.
Thank you, Mr.
Okay, let's go to Mr. Nubo. Mr. Nubo.
Gentlemen, y'all, thank you so much.
Okay,
Thank you very much, Mr. Nipe. And thanks to Mr. Bila, thanks to Mr. Kasen. It's good that we are ending on this student protest. I was involved in student protests before, and I was the only person who had a typewriter on campus, so we cut the stencil for the protest in my room the whole night. And we were expelled. But we had our subject matter, what we wanted the school to be transformed to better instructors, or that was engineering school or laboratories, and we were even talking about good food in a cafeteria. And one thing twice saying, you came here to become engineers, not engineers. And we were expelled. And I explained the story earlier. No, I don't want to go back to it. But now, today, I mean, when I saw the students, I thought I could not find out why they were protesting. I thought it was April 14 protest. I thought it was Jacob Koroba, it was related to Jacob Koroba, and up to now, I have not understood what happened. But the portion I watched, the students were on their campus, and their leader was speaking.
Okay.
And we gotta go to the police. If they have to pierce our chest with bullets, they will do that. But yesterday, the leader did not explain why they were protesting. And that's why, Mr. Wright, I asked you, why were they protesting for? And you said a condition or economic condition or this and that. No. that is fine. I think you and myself I had a discussion about value added.
Yeah.
We both of us praise Jetty. And I don't know if the government can praise any of the
Okay,
concessions.
Mr. Nubo, let bring the others in because we're completely out of time.
Okay.
Yeah. And we all know that Alex has to go. It's
Okay.
1 a.m. in the morning.
So that's my end.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Fred Smith, please, in a jiffy, please. So it goes out to guests before. Mr. Smith?
Yeah.
Mr. Smith.
According to Front Page Africa, they said they were demanding for jobs, better job, and they also were demanding the release of the Cumbra Foley Camara. But they went to the U.S. Embassy. That's why they were giving petition to the embassy, calling for job and justice, and also the release of the Cumbra Foley massacre. So that's where, especially on the day April 14th, and also the government, the president is not in the country. They hire government official went at the invitation to Ethiopia. So they are out of the country. The university president also went on that trip. The foreign minister Yanti went on the trip also. So the defense minister went on that trip also. So heading the government now is the Minister of Presidential Affairs and the vice president heading the government right now. Along with the president, they can get to the president anytime. So I think the day itself, they wanted to send a message on April 14th. And it seemed that anytime these anniversary come, they always look for something. And I spoke to the Lingsu called me today, but at that time I didn't know to the extent that the demonstration was going on. So probably I could get him tomorrow to come for any additional detail of the march. But the demonstrator in front of the march and the demonstrator in front of the American Embassy giving petition to government, and then to talk about job creation and justice and the release of the Cody's for the massacre. That's what I can share this time.
Okay, great. I mean, if we can get somebody from
I'm kind of confused though.
If we can get somebody from
presenting a petition to the government, why they go to the embassy?
If we
But
can get
it always done. People always do that if America control us.
Conversation, I beg you, please. We're out of time. Mr. Smith, if you can get somebody from the student tomorrow, that would be great, please, for the show. Let's go to Mr. Cassell for his closing. Mr. Cassell?
Okay. Like I said previously, these sort of protests, they're very healthy. If they're organic, they're very healthy, petitioning your government, I mean, it has its place. But I just hope it's not a politically inspired or politically motivated a protest. That's where the dysfunction and chaos comes in. And I just hope, there's this whole thing, what they call about manufacturing dissent, where some politician will go there and tell them what to say, pay them and all that. I just hope that's not the case. I hope it's all impulse and it's again, if they have a valid reason for coming out at a protest, they've got my support. But if that protest also had a political, some sort of political aura to it, then yes, we need to condemn it, because, like I said before, the government has to do a very, very delicate balance between the Democratic side, they've got the right to petition government and also ensure that there's not, dysfunction and chaos in the process. So I land.
Thank you, Mr. Cassell. I want to tell you quickly, soup, from my observation, from my experience watching them, following them, they have been consistent. On the George Weah, they did the same thing. On the Elling, they did the same thing. On the Boycott, they're doing the same thing. These guys have been nothing but consistent. I just want to say that.
So they're politically agnostic.
I agree with somehow. I agree with somehow.
Okay.
Mr. Bila, your closing, please.
Thank you. I don't know why this government is afraid of protest. When they were in opposition, the mastermind a lot of protests. You remember the June 7 protest they went to the American embassy? There was a protest that they carried on, and they were cooking on the quota. Nobody beat on them. Why say you have to do unto others as you like them to do unto you? You see, today they are seeing protests to be something. All of the time, all of the protests that took place under this regime, people were beaten, they were mighty handled. Gregor Cuomo now is almost like a Barney Dexter, like a C. Wellington Campbell. See, I don't think that's the right way to go. Not the right way to go. So he tried to bring back those systems. What something that was initiated by Barney Dexter and Oliver, let's say, Bright. We have to be very mindful. We have to be very careful, because history will protect us, will guide us. If you don't know what happened in the past, you won't know where you are going. So I don't think it's a healthy thing for this country. If people want to protest, do like George Weah. Police escort them, make sure that they are doing it in orderly form. And then after the protest, they go. You saw that protest, the June 7 protest. Water was given to them, food was given to them. And it was very fun, was unique. Why I say that they cannot reciprocate? I pause. Thank you.
Okay. I think Mr. Bila is mixing the whole thing up.
Okay, we
close. That is the time
we have closed.
when they were cooking. That's the time they used the hot water cannon on the protesters.
Okay.
And Mr. Bila forgot about that one.
Thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Wright. Thank you.
Yeah, but I want to say one thing. Mr. Cassell, you and Mr. Bila, we are privileged to have you guys here tonight as our guests. I think you're ready to deliver on this topic for the evening. And like I said, and the people who've been in the comment really enjoyed the conversation. But we want to say that please, you have been officially brought into our partner pool. So we will look forward to having you tomorrow, the day after, and the day after. So
all of the time.
Great. Thank you. Mr. Cassell, is that your commitment as well?
Well, Mr. Cassell runs a pretty busy ship, but when I'm available, Fred knows how to get in touch with me.
No. We're gonna get you. Don't we sing the lane because we don't want nobody in between.
I'm on Facebook. If you go to Facebook, you put Joe Moyu, because I use my Southeastern Joe Moyu. That's me right there.
Okay, Joe, are you the son, right?
That's that. There you go. I know his Southeastern thing.
Yeah. So this is what happened. We're gonna get your WhatsApp contact because we usually communicate on WhatsApp. Are you on WhatsApp?
Fred Smith got everything about me.
Okay, great.
Anything you want regarding me, I Fred Smith.
Absolutely, will do. Thank you guys, and we appreciate you guys being here for the night. This is all the time we have. Mr. Wulu, please come and take over, and thank you for staying the night with us. At this point, I want to say good night to every one of you. Bye to our listeners and our viewers. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Sorry, Fred.
All right. Thank you all. See you tomorrow.
Okay. Thanks. Bye-bye now.